comfy and having a good time of it. Things are going well for you. I've been doing alright. As alright as I think I can be. But no matter. Tonight honestly feels pretty, almost kind of low-key. Like, just low-key, like, almost kind of vibey, kind of chill. I don't know. I'm just in that kind of headspace where it's just like I'm going with the flow. I'm taking the days and the nights as they come. Anyway, tonight we have something quite special, I think. I finally decided, you know, I have this in my Steam library. Thank you, Gubbins. Welcome, welcome. I had this game in my Steam library for a little while, and I've been kind of like debating with myself, like, when do I want to play it? And I guess like tonight is that night. And the reason it's so special is because it's made by the same people / dev team of We Know the Devil, which quickly grew to be one of my most favorite visual novels ever. Like, I just thought it was mind-blowing the way it presented, like LGBTQ plus themes, like in a really unique and powerful way, which I'm kind of curious how well this game is gonna measure up, because as far as I know, I don't actually know a whole lot about this game in particular, only like a few minor details. Obviously the same people, it's still covering many of the same themes from a different perspective, like We Know the Devil was presented kind of like an occult sort of psychological, like, and almost like dipping into like Lovecraftian horror, whereas this one is good old mechanized sci-fi. I think I know like a recurring trend with these games is like all the characters are named after planets. That's no different here. I think I remember hearing once somewhere, like We Know the Devil mainly involves LGBTQ plus like identity and such from the perspective of like teenagers, and I think this game is like actually for like regarding young adults, like they've grown past, like they're over 18 now, I think. Don't quote me on that, I can't be sure, I haven't played the game yet. And I've never seen any playthroughs, and I didn't want to because, We Know the Devil blew my mind so much that, like, I needed to go into this blind, I had to. But enough, trying to hype it up. how about we actually see for ourselves how this game is gonna go about doing its thing for us tonight. I also know, like just from a brief check, that the soundtrack is done by the same person, which means I'm expecting the soundtrack to, like the BGM, to be, like, off the bat, just incredibly loud. Stylistically so. So, like, if it turns out that way, I might need to adjust audio post-haste. So just let me know if anything gets to be a bit too much. But anyway. Heaven will be mine. I'm excited. Build 56, is that like the patch version or something? I don't know. Ooh. So, faction Celestial Mechanics Self-Ship String of Pearls. Celestial Mechanics Reserve Test Pilot. Celestial Mechanics want to advance humanity to its next stage, and Saturn wants to flirt, but there's no reason we can't do both. Combat style? Button mashing, bedroom style button mashing? Oh no. Like, I hope there's nothing, like, too much for Twitch. Pluto. Action Cradle's Graces, Self-Ship, Crew and Macula. Cradle's Graces Ultimate Weapon Pilot. Even if Earth has given up on a new life for humanity in space, Cradle's Graces hasn't, and Pluto will make that dream come true. Likes succulents. Good girls. Crushing both kinds. And everyone. Dislikes is trying very hard not to have any. Ooh. And, ooh, Lunaterra. Memorial Foundation Self-Ship Mare Crisium. Mare Crisium? Memorial Foundation Ace Pilot. Fighting for the pilots to join the rest of humanity back on Earth before it's too late. Good at sniping, espionage, double-crossing, and ghosting. Bad at loving herself and everything else. Oh. So, like, combat and bedroom style? I'm not entirely sure what that entails, but, like, I guess we're starting on Saturn. She's the one on the cover, so... Welcome, Provisional Test Pilot Saturn. Your clearance is Level 1, Testing and Maintenance. Warning, potential damage to cockpit hardware detected. Warning, modifying or tampering with cockpit hardware and/or firmware is strictly prohibited. Saturn, what are you doing? Notice, bypass override accepted. Notice, launch attempt blocked. No handshake with base. Oh, hey, Mercury. Not much. Warning, launch attempt block. Based handshake spoof detected. Just hacking the OS root of this ship self. You? Base handshake. Base handshake accepted. You? Trying to stop some brat from hijacking the prototype, apparently. Notice, emergency launch override initiated. Prepare for launch in T-minus 120 seconds. Calm down, Mercury. I'm just borrowing it. I am not debating. I'm trying to save your life. The commander will be furious, and he won't just accept you stealing the Cornerstone project from the designated pilot. It's not a big deal. I'll have it back before you know it. This is privileged information, but the designated pilot has to launch right this second, or has to launch right this second to get that machine back to Earth before they get here. This is the worst possible time. It couldn't be worse if you planned it. Everyone in the system suddenly somehow knows this base's location, and they're heading here now. Notice, user launch override blocked. Denied by base. Oh, wow. Weird. How did that happen? Notice, user launch override blocked. Denied by base. Denied by base. You planned it, didn't you? You forgot an apostrophe. Remote shutdown in 30 seconds. No one can prove anything, especially not the designated pilot unconscious in locker 27. Whoops, looks like they're trying to kick me out, huh? Saturn, I know you're mad, but you can't do this when they catch you. It's going to be so bad. Can you just please act like you're just pranking them? There's still time. I will beg them. Hello, Aro Arts. Rip pilot in locker 27. Oh, such a worrywart. You've got hours to evacuate the capital ship. They'll never engage you this far from base, and I'll be distracting them. I have it all figured out. Except for how you're going to do anything at all to accomplish that with everyone trying to kill you. Base override. Remote shutdown in 20 seconds. Saturn. Try to have a little faith. Remote shutdown in 15 seconds. Saturn? Calm down! Jeez, it doesn't take a genius to drive one of these things to the moon. Who cares which one of us does it? Or do you think I can't? 10 seconds. That is not the issue! The commander cares, and you know better than anyone what he's like. Remote shutdown in 9 seconds. Iapetus will just have to get used to it, lol. 8. Saturn, what are you trying to prove? 7. 6. So much, Mercury. 5. But give me a little credit. 4. 3. I have much higher ambitions than just being a bitch. IFF sequence missing. Base override cancelled. I almost got worried for a sec, lol. Welcome, assigned pilot. Full permissions granted. Saturn, I'm going to die and it will be your fault. Oh, come on. I'll get this to the moon safe and sound. And let the Severance project be complete. I'll be very good, maybe, and do everything I'm supposed to, maybe. I know I'm the second choice, but they'd rather have that than nothing, right? Very generous of me, isn't it? They will not accept that! They will sort of have to, though, won't they? If Command didn't want me to steal one, they shouldn't have benched me indefinitely. Emergency launch initiated. Let me know when he starts admitting it. Hostile launch. Catapult locks on. High risk of damage to your ship self. Jeez, now they're just being needy. Mercury, isn't it just the worst when someone who doesn't care anymore starts clinging just because you found someone new? Prepping weapon systems. Electrotoxin level surging. Weapons operational. So gross, lol. Emergency launch initiated. I can't believe I really did it. I really, really did it. Everyone who said if I was good, I'd get my chance again sure was a liar. Ah. Nope. Nope, this is a true visual novel. Also, bad girls. This sounds familiar. I got away and I've got a ship and she's all mine. You're beautiful. I want to know everything about you. I miss this so much. Much better than the test machines when I was in the academy. She is beautiful. She's a wicked machine with a lot of secrets, and just as giddy as her pilot to be free. She's extremely responsive, eager to do everything Saturn wants. You're even worth reading the manual for. What's in you? You're not hiding anything from me, are you? But Saturn already knows everything in the manual and more. It's a very cagey document that doesn't do the ship justice and is certainly hiding something. There's plenty of information on how to use her electromagnetic poisons and how to cheat distance and gravity, and all of that is fun, but none of that tells her the first thing about how to be a ship. This is useless. How can this help diagnose anything when they don't know the first thing about being a ship? So wrong. Way too dry. That's not what it's like at all. I was never the It's a body that's also a soul. It means exactly what it is. That's why it's small, curved and wicked edges in some places, but curved in soft ways elsewhere. Sharp claws and deadly tail, but cute enough to hug. Kitty! So perfectly suited for Saturn, one has to understand exactly... So perfectly suited for Saturn, one has to understand exactly why they wouldn't give it to her. Really perfect. Fits better than a human body. And that's reason enough to disobey everyone and run off with it, isn't it? Oh, speaking of... more threatening emails from Iapetus. Missing me already. Jay, wifey! It's no problem, wifey. You come in whenever you're able. You're always welcome. I gave him a perfectly good deal. For someone who always goes on about mutually beneficial arrangements, he's really having trouble seeing the big picture. In the time it takes him to realize that, I'm sure I can find something fun to do in this system. Time to test you out and see if it's really true. Can you give me everything I want, down to the last drop? It's January 1st, 1980. In the long and cold war, where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we have been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. That's a pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it, when there's enough of a mess down here to worry about? Humanity is already the undisputed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, at Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety, MFNSES, in agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare, there's no future for humanity in space. Let's come home. The Return Resolution, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without their gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. To power the ship cells we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now, enough to make a new world free from the weight of Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our Cradle's graces, but we're not coming back. Independence Declaration, Cradle's Graces. January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by a divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat. And when they do, they'll send real weapons and end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? We are technically less than 100% human, just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship-self string of pearls we made in the atmosphere of planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well, where Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we are just short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we can get. Internal report, celestial mechanics. Oh, I love that. Day 1. I'm already picking up on the symbolism. Saturn return. In the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after? And will they get it? Joyride Killjoy. Weaving in and out of the 6 planets' rings, Memorial Foundation's ace, Lunaterra, plays cat and mouse with the renegade ship thief Saturn. Mail and alerts. Your parent promotion from Iapetus. Good job, Saturn. There's no point in being angry with you, so I'll choose to be proud of you instead. I'll refrain from having you sunk, since that's counterproductive to our intentions for that unit. You are a reserve candidate after all, so you'll do fine. Try not to make it too much of a pain in the ass for me. I'll have Mercury reassigned to you, since he apparently doesn't have a say in the matter. How nostalgic. The 2 of you had so much potential. Well, he knows how to do his job, at least. Do your best not to get the string of pearls sunk. We'll absolutely wash you out of the biological interface and reassign you permanently if we get the chance, so prove you're competent enough and neither of us will have wasted our time. Iapetus. Truce ending effective immediately. To all members of the formal Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Research Division, now known as Celestial Mechanics, this message serves as a formal acknowledgement that this branch has violated our trust and broken the provisions of the 1981 Memorial Foundation Consensus by violating Clause 3, the development of a variable gravity engine, and Clause 7, installation of a variable gravity engine into the ship's self-string of pearls. Celestial Mechanics will no longer be listed as part of Memorial Foundation. They will be formally relisted as an independent entity and considered a true existential threat by Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. We are still offering forgiveness, so please defect as soon as possible while the appeal grace period is still in effect. Please otherwise expect tidal retaliation for existential endangerment of human culture. Halamede, Princess Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. So, I think that was a lot of what we already knew. Mercury, don't talk to me. A boy in space on purpose. Consummate bridge bunny, not responsible for Saturn. Insufferable horror creature, forward all complaints to Mercury. You literally messaged me first, you nerd. OMG. Harpy. Come on, BB, I'm sorry. What can I do to make it up to you? Give back the ship! Come on, I'm obviously not doing that. Please, I'm begging you. Listen to reason. You have so much left to live for. Oh, Mercury, come on, we both know that's not true. What do you want from me? A list of girls who will shoot me out of orbit. God! Anyways, don't be a crybaby. I'm fine. Saturn, you are extremely wrong if you think that there is a chance I am at all worried about you. If you come back, all will be forgiven, but you need to bring it back. Mercury, it's fun playing, but I don't think you've been listening at all. Mercury, it's not that ship anymore, it's me. Mercury, you wouldn't ask me to give up my own self, would you? I'm sailing on a ship of myself now, and I'm not giving it up until gravity drags me back kicking and screaming. I can't deal with you. Aw, thank you, baby. Kiss, kiss. You are a nightmare, and I'm giving up trying to save you from yourself. I love you. I hate you so much. You can't stay mad at me. I can't, and it's horrible, but my revenge will come because literally everyone else in the universe can. Oh, darn. Guess I should have fun while it lasts. Saturn, if you defect, I cannot protect you. Iapetus is furious, and he's going to come personally for you if you don't come back. I told you I'd do all the missions. Don't you believe me? Lol. Obviously not! Lol, fair. Okay, let me ask this. Do you think I'd give up on the Aversion project? Go on. Iapetus wanted us to fight for a new self beyond a ship's self, but not even get a taste until the end? Fuck that. My house now. Tell me which of the two of us you trust less, Mercury. Channel closed. Alright then. Data log? Oh, right, that's... yeah. Alignment. Ah. System? That's just options. Mission select. Alright. So I can pick either... It sounds like this is either encountering Pluto or encountering Lunaterra. I know nothing about either, or hardly anything about either of them. So I'm gonna flip a coin. Or I guess, like, I don't really know how they'd really think of Saturn. So... heads, I'll go with Lunaterra. Oh, Pluto, darling! What do you mean I can feel her presence? Please do not try to sound that cool. I can feel her presence. Everyone can feel her presence. I can feel it right now. How could you even possibly ignore something like that? Shut up! I mean I can feel it physically! Oh. Wait, what? Like, how? Wait, what? Like, how? Like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. It's like I'm spinning upside down and can't stop. Are you sure you haven't somehow concussed yourself or given yourself gravity sickness from all of the damage you've managed to inflict on yourself in the past 12 hours? Yes, and it's on top of all that, and also shut up. String of Pearls is feeding me sensory information on the direct line. I'm a human being with 5 senses, and she's trying to cram a dozen more into me. By direct line, you are in fact talking about the extremely creepy physical interface connection between you and the String of Pearls, correct? It really, really is, right? It's truly incredible how we agree about everything and still feel the opposite about it. Is this why you keep hesitating before giving me intel? Yes, because you're going to do the opposite of what you should do with it. But I also can't not tell you because you might die, so running support for you is an incredibly anxiety-inducing affair. It must be hard. Thank you for acknowledging it. So you're gonna tell me what's after me? You've already figured it out, haven't you? But yes, it's that Cradle's Grace's masterwork. Celestial Mechanics traded the knowledge for how to finish String of Pearls in exchange for what they needed to finish the Croon Macula. It would be pretty funny if they got us this way in the end. It's headed directly to the lab. We've already evacuated on the capital ship, but you are its highest priority. Should I play bait? If anything, it's more important for you to get back to the native sphere first. In order for us to make contact, we need the String of Pearls. We believe if you hide in the abandoned Daphnis lab, you can use the decaying gravity furnace for cover. Huh, that's sensible. But bait sounds like a lot more fun, you know? Really? Oh, come on. Iapetus must think their pilot is a real idiot if she's gonna waste her time on a wild goose chase like that. He wouldn't just sacrifice you like that. He would. There must be backups for making contact. Just because I'm the easiest option doesn't mean I'm the only one. He's testing to see if I'm worth investing in or just going to get myself killed. quickly, let me just, like, lower the music a little bit. It's a bit loud. Why run? Why not have it out with her? I bet she's thinking the same thing, too. Be careful, Saturn. If you can tell what they're thinking, they can tell what you're thinking. Please, if I really could do something like that, they wouldn't have kicked me out of the pilots. Then how do you know the pilot's a she? Because boys can't pilot. Daphnis, the tiny shepherd moon, so small it barely earns the name, tumbles through the Keller Gap, ruffling the rings of the planet it orbits. It houses the last official laboratory of Earth's decommissioned space program, training ground of failures like Saturn and special girls like Pluto. Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No, wait. Pluto remembers it that way. Saturn remembers when it used to feel so special to be chosen, a candidate for the last generation of pilots. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes two things are true. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating, and distances are becoming ambiguous, between past and present, between me and you. The Daphnis lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto, and that's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in an apple. But there's a much bigger worm here, and she doesn't know anymore if this was a good idea. Where what was a good idea? Saturn doesn't have any ideas. She's just trying to hide, even though there's no place where you can not to, even though there's no place where you cannot be felt by me. Alert, tidal resonance IFF confirms enemy. Warning, gravitational hazard. Danger, pressure exceeding safe range. I know, it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous. Supermassive, small enough to hide in this complex, but with a dual reactor denser than the entire moon compressed into the head of a pin. An hour ago, and Saturn felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and so powerful, the interior of her cockpit creaked with the pressure, and her head, heart, and eyes welled up with tears. Something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto. Cool. She must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find? Saturn has no idea. Why do I have the feeling someone's laughing at me? No one is laughing at Saturn. The lab's been abandoned for years. But Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way. She really does think it's cute. I haven't thought about Pluto in a long time. Oh man, it really would be funny if she was in that monster. Well, now someone is laughing at Saturn. Hey! Now I know someone's here. Saturn is connected with her mech. Yeah. It's kind of like Evangelion, I think. I can feel you listening, but I can hear you too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with the narrative. Narrow escape or mutually assured destruction. Pluto is part of Cradle's Graces, right? I can't really check for sure. If only I could remember which one it was. I'm pretty sure Pluto is part of Cradle's Graces. And then, Mercury is with celestial mechanics and everything. go, Pluto. Good at bad decisions. It's easiest to catch someone if you don't care you might get caught yourself. Besides, if you want to drive someone wild, you gotta show them you're worth catching. And that you're good enough to catch them, too. The lab is dark. The malfunctioning lights cast an eerie glow. Dying culture without gravity to hold it together. But she can hear the faint laughter rippling in the gravity. And where it's coming from. When you don't know the controls, mashing all the buttons at once is just as good! Got you! It's a hit. Her claws sink in. They tremble in the pressure. Whatever they've sunk into is bigger than belief. The Croon Macula towers over Saturn. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits in the complex, but it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Supermassive enough to warp local space-time, humming and vibrating with nebula dust. Incredibly gentle, or she would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying. Oh wow, you got me! No matter what size it appears, in the truest, most real sense of size, the ship is bigger than this moon, than anything Saturn can imagine. String of Pearls quickly flits away, but Croon Macula's grip is on her before she can twitch. And I've got you, Saturn. I really was surprised to see you like this. Cool, right? I've got poison now, too. Want to see if you're still the top weirdo psychic mutant in space? Oh wow, sounds really cool, but I don't know if you're ready yet. Want to bet? Sure. The String of Pearls screeches and buckles as the dust ignites and a tiny portion of Pluto's tidal forces slam into her. Warning, gravity hazard. Gah! Had enough? You kidding? Okay, we can turn it up. Woo! That is sure insane. It feels like my brain is melting into the universe. You're the one who wanted to show off. You don't have to do that to endear yourself to me, but if you really want to impress me, you're gonna have to do better than that. Yeah? You're really still not impressed? Even by this? By what? Ooh, that does sting! It spreads like a poison, even through metal. It jumps like electricity, but drips like a liquid. Pink and impossible, and spreading quickly through the Croon Macula's body. So you're not just full of risky, bad ideas. That makes me happy. I won't shut you down too hard. Okay, you win. You gonna be good now? Oh god. Okay. So, what did you want to talk about? As Cradle's Grace's glittering psychic death machine, you definitely have more important things to do than to go out of your way to bully me for no reason, right? Oh, that's right. That man and the fleet are escaping, aren't they? Hope you don't mind falling for this trap. Trap? You? Silly, I know you're more important than that. More than catching the rest of the Celestial Mechanics fleet? I knew this would be fun, and you knew it too. I'm absolutely delighted about you doing that, just to be clear, so you don't have to read my mind or roast me about it. Thank you, J-Wifey, for hydrate. And I hydrate again? It's because of Pluto, isn't it? I can't read minds. You know that's not how it works. But I also don't need to know that. But I did want to know the biggest overachiever of my juniors turned into such a bad girl. Want to know how the biggest... Yeah. If you really remembered me, you'd remember I wasn't ever good. I do remember you. Even if you're not that good at being bad, Do you know what you're doing? With that machine, it's so dangerous we don't even want to find out what it does. I think you answered your own question about why I'm keeping it. Are you gonna stop me then? But you don't want to? Hey, stop. Don't pry into me. If you're pitying me, I'll make you regret it. Not all of us come out perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they see any use at all. I won't pity you. I really would have torn this machine apart. But now that I'm here, gifted a little mutant to gifted a little mutant, I can't bear to. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together. I might still make you regret it. Winning isn't my most important task. It's not yours either. Are you sure about that? You're not who I'm worried about. It's only your boss I can't forgive. Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. I'm getting a crush already. Same. Regretting it now? Don't worry. There's nothing you can make me regret. Lima cradles graces. Mercury, listen, it's an emergency. I'm sorry about everything, but it's important. You have to tell Commander that I'm getting so late. Okay, stream Froggy. Yeah, I know Stellar, can't make stream right this minute. Busy with school things. I'm logging off. Bye. I was not fooled for even a second that this would be useful. Really? Not even for a second? I no longer experience hope as a concept. You freed me from it. Wow! Aw, stop, I'm blushing. What do you want from me, Saturn? Do you know any discreet places to make out on Aries? Goodbye, Saturn. Also, here's the test output to date. Saturn, goodbye. Aren't you gonna read me the data analysis? If it is indeed data you are sending this time and not just nudes. That's rude. I always ask before I send them to you. I don't mind acting as the official art director of Saturn's nudes since you need it so badly and it's substantially less tedious than data analysis. But if you were as punctual about sending data as cockpit selfies, I would have a lot more data to report. Why are you so incredulous all the time? You stole the prototype, might I remind you. You can't just continue the field testing as if nothing happened. Why not? Because why would you do anything you didn't want to do? Thank you, Jay, for the clip. Wiki. What are you planning? Wink, 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 wink. Didn't mean to send that in chat, but I got the clip. No, it's no biggie. Ugh, fine. They've been dying for it anyway. Cool, how'd I do? Ugh, this is not bad. It's pretty useful. He typed through tears. Don't rub it in. I can't believe your shift cells expanded so much already. What have you been doing with it? I think I've been hinting very clearly how. I instantly regret this question. You're supposed to test the prototype in combat. Same difference. I can't believe we invented a ship designed to get into trouble and didn't think, oh, Saturn is the obvious choice for this. We both know why. You're an even more obvious choice than me. Fuck Iapetus for throwing us both out like trash. Come on, aren't you a little happy to see a little havoc in his perfect garden? I'll be looking forward to you collecting new data. Attaboy. New alerts. Pilot candidate 007 Mercury interviews. Don't worry, it's just a checkup. Mercury, historically untrustworthy scenario. It's just questions, I promise. That's not really a great way to set my mind at ease. Let's just answer the questions, okay, wise guy? Fine. Have you experienced a sense of vertigo or loss of balance for a period lasting more than 2 minutes in the last month? No. Have your eating habits changed at all recently? No. No. Mercury, work with me, please. Why? You work with me. If I absolutely promise neither I nor anyone else will do anything at all to stop you from being exactly who you want, or from whatever changes you need, will you at least answer my questions? Sometimes. Maybe. Okay, that's good enough for me. We're just curious if it's a side effect of life in space, or the educational programming of Dr. Nix, or in reference to the behavior of Iapetus. No, that's backwards. Everyone else seems to get to do whatever they want without limits in space. Why is it weird when I do it? We want to test for the effects of space alone, so self-induced changes have to be controlled for. Don't ask what's in my endocrine system. It's my endocrine system. Fine. It's testosterone, and I put it there because I wanted it there. Is that enough? Well, I guess that is what I needed to know. If you promise not to ask me about it again, I'll give you all the data I cataloged about the changes. Okay, I get it. You're starting to get it. Stop treating me like a girl, and I'll know you've really got it. Wow! That was just... Like, that was just right... Like, just forthright. Mercury is a trans dude. I'm at least like 90% certain that he's a trans dude. Recommended tactics. The string of pearls is configured for specific outward expressions of gravity, tidal forces. The dissonant rhythm of this reactor makes peaceful tidal communication risky and difficult. Be cautious despite the range and penetration this unit is capable of. The electromagnetic conductors have liquefied the electromagnetic conductors have liquefied the electrical energy into corrupting material, a form of theoretical matter that should be used as a primary engagement tool. As a seducer-saboteur model, the unit's functions are inherently insidious. Rather than armor, the plastics are infinitely malleable and regenerate. It is safer to take damage head-on as an opportunity to infect rather than avoid, but the unit can be contained, restrained, and impeded physically and tidally. Trans rights. Yeah. I don't know, like, if you're familiar at all about, like, this game or the game that was a spiritual prequel or, like, spiritual ancestor to this game, but, like, LGBTQ plus themes are like, these games' bread and butter. Except, like, they often use, like, heavy amounts of symbolism. Saturn return. Mission complete. Oh, I see. So now I go after Lunaterra. Nope, not even a little. Well... Well, then I guess sit back and enjoy the gay. Please tell me how long you're going to be engaged in this. May I stress again, incredibly dangerous, giant waste of time. Until they start sending someone interesting after me, Mercury. The whole fleet would be after you if you hadn't damaged the entire launch hangar when you stole that. Could they even take me out while I'm flying this thing? No, but it won't stop him from trying. And let me stress this info packet. And let me stress that this info packet is a gift purely to prevent your ship self from falling into enemy hands and not an indication of any sort of forgiveness. Let me worry about Iapetus Mercury. He's gotta be a lot less grumpy when I clear the way for us in Celestial Mechanics to return to the native sphere. I've got it all figured out. You absolutely don't, but okay. Did you read the info packet? Ace Memorial Foundation pilot Luna Terra, in hot pursuit with escorts, planned an attack on the lab, arrived after you escaped. Do not engage under any circumstances. Boring. But this part was good. I don't expect you to control your impulses, but even given that you're just like that, she is the last person you should be trying to fight on purpose. Sounds like I should definitely fight her on purpose, right? I hate you. Oh, come on. The carrier's never gonna make it out of the system if I don't. You don't know how to pilot your ship, and she's a veteran since the Cold War. You're going to get yourself captured and humiliated and the ship trashed. So you're saying there's no downside? Why are you doing this to me? And she's 6'1", huh? Your attention to detail is so useful sometimes. You're using me to cruise? Your taste is so awful. Oh, I hate you. Oops, looks like one of her escorts is in range. Sorry, gotta go. Surprise is all I've got, you know? I wish Europa would stop sending me boys who can't control themselves. Having fun dismantling my escorts. With a string of Pearl's fingers, Saturn carefully peels the mechanical musculature out of the poor ship's arm she's holding, a souvenir of the last of Luna Terra's escorts that she sent crying too easily back to their base. It's still sparking and oozing, and Saturn wishes her ship had a mouth so she could suck it out like crab meat. Ew! Maybe it does have a mouth. The machine has many mysteries the manual doesn't explain, and Saturn is still learning them. Though I suppose Europa's learned her lesson about sending me girls who can't control themselves. Oh, really? Hey, that's really interesting. Mind telling me more? Oh, she's a hacker too? How amusing. There's nothing too interesting on this comm frequency. Aw, you flatter me. But hey, what did that mean exactly? The part about the girls who can't control themselves. I really want to hear more. It means back up that talk first. Or can you land a hit off the comms? Stream! Hello, Lee Short. You ready for space gaze? Luna Terra's gravitational field focuses to a single point. Luna Terra isn't budging. She's been through much worse, and so has her ship, followed always by a thin trail from a bleeding wound she never could completely repair. Space gaze? Space gay gaze. The Mari Chrysium is over 2 decades old, but Saturn can't even land a hit. It's regal and stiff, dressed in old metallics, weathered and refurbished. The archetypal prototype for all other ship selves, still going after all these years. Still furiously untouchable. The string of pearls hasn't gone down no matter how much she's been rammed with that spear, but she hasn't even nicked Luna Terra's ship once. Not bad at all for a joyride, but you can't get one hit in. Good thing you don't win by looking cool. No mercy for newbies? No. Luna Terra puts a stake of solid light through the string of pearl's leg, pins it to its own gauze wrapper. It doesn't hurt at all. The ship's metals begin molding and reforming around the wound immediately, a ridiculous unfair advantage. Saturn has no right to complain, but she still wants to. But she is trying to be cool. Everyone wants to when in the quiet gleam of that always bleeding ship. That's a pretty amazing ship. Think it will last? Either you're fighting just for fun because you're that reckless, or you're caught in your own containment wrapper and can't escape orbit yet. And you'd beat me for sure if I played around. I'm not done yet. That's not true. It's actually very difficult to move with a solid light bullet in your leg, but she's not going to let that stop her.
Thank you, Jay. I shall stretch ye.
Feels good. Saturn is suddenly closer than she logically could be, claws bubbling, but Lunaterra effortlessly slips away and kicks Saturn's ship directly in the chest. Yeah, you're done. The containment wrapper is still stuck to you, so your movement's off. Doesn't seem to have stopped you that much. Right? It was so rude of him to try to stop me.
No, you!
It seems cruel to take it away when you're having so much fun with it. Same as you, right? Do I know you? Everyone knows Memorial Foundation's perfect ace. But do I know you? So I do, don't I? Let me out of this thing and I'll tell you. Why should I? Because you can't help yourself. Besides, don't you want a real fight? Can you promise it'll go different? I can promise it'll be more fun. You're asking me to totally abandon my duty to bring you back and do that instead? What, you won't? The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation, then double-crossed the rebels she abandoned them for, can't be opposed to a little fooling around with the enemy. I guess you do know me. Want to trust each other? Or is it more fun if we don't? It's more fun if they do and Saturn gets embarrassed. It's more fun if they don't and Lunaterra gets owned. I want both of them, that's the problem. Honestly, let's see Saturn get embarrassed. Memorial Foundation advances, never forgotten, every story told. Oh. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, hardly any of the outcomes of this game. There are multiple endings. I'm just kind of going on instinct this time around. How's that? Did it hurt? It's just weird. It's weird that it doesn't hurt. It's easier for Lunaterra to cut through the malleable flesh of the string of pearls directly than entangle her from the wrapper. The flesh reforms quickly, so she has to work patiently. String of pearls might be impossible to destroy. Even if Saturn can't land a hit, Lunaterra feels like somehow she's the one who got lucky. If just this hurt, you'd never be able to fight. Your brain is giving you more nuanced information. You're very sensitive. Lucky. You'll get used to it. If you are serious about next time, think of yourself as something a little bigger. I like that. Being big. I'm glad I trusted you. Stop shaking then, or ask me to go easier. Just a little easier. Of course. Do you remember me yet? I thought you'd remember the name of at least some of the girls you made out with in supply closets. Woo-hoo! Your face! Just kidding. But sorry, it was worth it. You weren't kidding about still being dangerous. Every pilot knows you. By both of your reputations. You're definitely Saturn, because no one hated me as much as you. So now I'm curious why you don't anymore. If I tell you, you'll owe me extra. So save it for the next time you catch me. Heh. Well, I'll just have to catch you again quick. All free. Now get out before someone catches us. Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars. That's a name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Aries. But like the stringy, inedible weeds that grow when nothing else does, Cradle's Graces is dug in, and we can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked, the terraforming engines are broken, the gravity furnaces are out of control. There's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist. It is an inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship selves can't keep you alive alone forever. And even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation NSES fleet already did. That's why there's barely any of us left, and why we can't get them out. What? Why don't I go home? Why don't I go home too? And leave all those idiots to just fucking die on a rock? Who do you think we're doing this for? External communications sent on August 31st, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops. Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. This planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life. And life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It is really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. Enough humans can decide anything, and then it'll be true, even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted on the earth is in fact not a human. That's a pretty usual thing for humans to do. No differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens, and then they'll send the real military after us, and we'll die. But if we just hold the line here for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well. And then we get to decide. Internal communications sent on January 25th, 1981 by Cradle's Graces Irregulars. It's morning on Aries, but what's time in space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled, and the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons of Mars, where Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundation are bickering. Hold the city ruins against invading troops, and make sure no one tries to get the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. But me? I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space has ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock, but the best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening, we will ensure that it happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communication, January 26, 1981, Celestial Mechanics Researcher. Oop. OS root corruption. Error. Mission parameters not detected. Mission results needed for gravitational slingshot permissions. Error. Navigation shortlist not found. Manual inject mission results.txt. Mission parameters found. All results perfect and amazing. Wow, thank you, Saturn. Flight path generating. Fleet path Cronus orbit, refuel on planet Aries, Lagrange colony pass, classified operation, Earth's moon. New standing orders coming in. Guard Celestial Mechanics fleet refueling on Aries' oxygen ocean. Stay out of trouble and do not engage Memorial Foundation troops patrolling in immediate vicinity. Accept orders? No. Error. Cannot proceed. Manual inject. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Ares. Nice. Be careful today. I'm never careful any day, so I'm serious this time. Iapetus is in the field today. I don't know where he's fighting, but you should be careful. Geez, you worry too much. Obviously, because you give me so much to worry about. I mean, are you really worried? His ship self is actually not that scary. Not as scary as mine. As if that was a thing I was worried about. What then? Oh, ew, God, I'm not even thinking about letting our mutual ex touch me. I won't even fight him. I'll curve him the second his tides so much as tremble against my plating. Why would you worry? Why would you worry? I don't even slightly hate him less than you do. There's no possible way you hate him more than I do, but that's not the issue. That's never the issue with him. Hating him hasn't made him any easier to deal with. We were kids, though. We're older and wiser now. LeMayo. At least you are, Mercury. Hardly. Or I wouldn't be telling you. You remember how he just casually lingers his fingers a second too long on your shoulder? In front of everyone? Ugh. Ugh! It was so gross. It was so gross. And I loved the attention every time. It made me so smug. I loved it. It was gross. I hate him. Do you love yourself enough to not fall? I loved it. It was gross. I hate him. Do you love yourself enough to not fall for it again? I definitely hate him enough to not fall for it. Do you? No, obviously. I'm still in celestial mechanics, so how do you think I feel? You're soaring. You've got a stupid idiot who loves you and get to do research and never have to deal with him again. And with the ship self, we'll have the future. And no matter what, I'll make sure he won't. Alright. Misfire transmission, junk data error. Oh my god, sorry for getting back to you so late, but I was in the middle of a meeting. My phone buzzed so much the director asked me if I need to take a call. I swear you do this on purpose. I don't think you really need feedback on your nudes that quickly, even though, yes, they're really, really important to me. And I can't stop thinking about them or getting any of my work done, and my presentations suffered greatly from my lack of focus. I expect you're prepared for a little payback, and after I sent you my schedule so that this wouldn't happen again even. Hey, you wouldn't have asked me for my meeting times so that you could send those to me at the worst possible moment, would you? I already know the answer to that, so why don't you tell me this? Why can I never get enough of you? So, deep dive. The oxygen ocean serves as both fuel yard and terraforming engine for planet Ares, and it's the perfect hiding place for the migrating celestial mechanics fleet. But deep down, something is reaching up for them. 400 KISS. Memorial Foundation deploys a certain sniper to stop escape and resupply routes to the resting celestial mechanics fleet. All Saturn needs to do is stay out of trouble. But what's the chance of that?
Let's take a dip in some oxygen.
Saturn, what are you doing? Disabling all comms and the diving supports, and oh, you're still here? I thought I cut this channel too. Well, I should go ahead and shut it. Don't you dare cut me off. You can listen if you promise not to whine or stop me. I will do no such thing, and you cannot make a deal with me. I'm simply stating a fact, not making an argument. Ugh, just why, Saturn? Why are you such an incorrigible, petulant nightmare? After you were probationally forgiven for doing a very good job not getting String of Pearls ruined or captured, and Command even decided to give you the job of sparking the gravity engine that will take our fleet back to the native sphere. I would think you wouldn't be so into pressing your luck recklessly. But everyone except for you is so annoying. They're annoying because whatever is causing the tidal interference from the bottom of the oxygen ocean is almost certainly that Cradle's Grace's weapon, and they have no reason to believe you're going to be loyal. Every single second of the day you are horrid and undisciplined, and your brief periods of obedience only seem to exist to throw everyone off later. I mean, if you want me to cover for you, you have to play along a little. Why are you like this? Years of encouragement and grooming followed by abandonment and neglect, you know that. Oof. Same as you. Double oof! God! And same for that pilot you're after, too. Is that why? In a different way, but I think so. Enemy or not, I want to talk. I think I'm getting somewhere. And I'm not going to get to talk if you are... And I'm not going to get to talk if you all are interfering. What if she doesn't want to just talk? Then you'll really appreciate me cutting the cables before she pulls all of you down there with me. Why is it so important anyway? You'll really jeopardize the whole operation for that? What, you don't think I have my own cunning master plan? It's way better than his. Supposedly nothing can stop the Croon Macula. Is it better to find out if that's true sooner than later? Fight her or talk, which is it? How are they any different? Anyways, don't worry when the connection accidentally breaks. I'll be fine, promise. And you will be too. I mean, if it's playing nice with Pluto, I don't think I have much choice. Thankful for our Cradle's Graces, but we're not coming back. The balance shifts because Pluto tugs and Saturn tugs harder. Deep, so deep, crushing and dark, but the String of Pearls has organs that see everything. Smoky and cold, she slips down in a stream of evaporation, just shy of being the spark that blows it all up. Whatever's down there, but don't play dumb because Saturn knows exactly who and what's down there, is playing coy. Oh, interesting. Do you have the same idea, Pluto? Brick up. Tied interference. Cutting off the comms? Well now, I don't have to cut the comm line myself. Oh. Saturn doesn't have to play by anyone's rules, even and especially the rules of the universe. It's made of a last-minute miracle. It loves it best when it's just waiting on the edge between one possibility and another, tempting fate and not caring where it lands. Pluto doesn't cross the rules. She's the universe itself. A perfect target for Saturn, and the wall she crashes against. She's not playing coy. She's looking for someone to crash against her. From the depths, Croon Macula tugs, but playfully. String of Pearls takes the invitation and yanks back not so playfully at all. Hey, Boo, do you want to play? I sure do. But come up and play my game. Oh, sure, if you can make me. Croon Macula is the plunge into fascination, a fall omnidirectional into the end of the universe. Croon Macula can drown the ocean in her gravity, but String of Pearls has the greatest trick. The String of Pearls cheats distance. She can't ignore it, but she can interpret it differently. So, Fx equals an anxious avoidant, infinitely approaching and never reaching asymptote, or maybe Fx equals can be a curve accelerating rapidly into infinity. Math isn't hard for Saturn, just the results. Math is hard for me! Mercury would be screaming if the comms were still on, because this is a big risk, the most dangerous and guaranteed way to get the Celestial Mechanics fleet wrecked if she isn't careful, and even if she is. Closing distance is mutual. Pulling Pluto out of the depths of the oxygen ocean is not something she's doing for them. If Saturn wants to change the rules, then Pluto will let her. She'll be the one to set the variable. No matter what Saturn sets FX to, Pluto sets the force. She can go slack if she wants to. Yep, I immediately thought of you, wife. Saturn's equation is something like Fx equals the closer you approach, the further I move away. A hard equation to solve. Are you up to it? Along the equations of gravity, Saturn fires hooks. They wouldn't have hit without the equation, but it was the moment of Pluto's curiosity that they bet on. That is enough. The ocean plunges and the ships rock. Emergency retraction. Max output. Okay. I was trying not to cause so much trouble. I just wanted to delay you for a little while. But if you really insist, I'll come make all the trouble you want. God damn it! That's funny, considering how hard you've been wrecking the Celestial Mechanics fleet. I'd almost think you weren't going easy at all. Saturn is pulling hard, but it's like trying to pull a star out of a black hole. But something about the way Pluto reacts makes Saturn think it might still be possible. You're working hard. I was just sent to make sure you all didn't have an easy time. I never worked hard, ever. You sound like kind of a liar. You sure you're not still a bit good? Say it to my face. Okay, if you really, really insist, I can get carried away too. Saturn's capture cables go slack, and she shoots up and out of the ocean, pulled by the panicking surface crew. The equation input has changed. The number Pluto has changed it to gives Saturn a thrill. As the oxygen tidal wave starts building, the ocean trembles. The fleet sees and nearly capsize, but Saturn breaks out of the liquid and into the sky, and Pluto is pulled up and out and free. The Macula is more frightening and powerful than Saturn remembered, but she can't be scared now. Well, maybe she can, just a little, but this is what she wanted, too. A beautiful solution to her equation. It's hard to know someone if you haven't fought them. That's something she's known for a long time. The pain of wondering if you just aren't good enough to stand next to someone. She'd prefer to know where she stands. For Pluto, who is made to be so overwhelming that in her presence no other option but peace can exist, she doesn't have anything to prove to herself. Win or lose, she's open when others are honest. Between ship selves, all conflict must be honest. It's the only way to make contact. That's the moment she's waiting for, to give life to all the feelings unleashed when she decided she'd let herself have them. The Celestial Mechanics fleet can't do anything but wait, and think about how this is probably all Saturn's fault. You're strange, Saturn. I don't know what to think. You think you can't win, but you're trying anyway. What do you want to make happen? So sure and unsure of yourself. Just come on already. We can't all be gravitational beauties. Tides come from people, and people are people, whether they get there being taught or being made. Keep the pity out of your voice, or I won't be having fun anymore. I don't pity you. I was very lucky. There's no reason to why I got to be so lucky. But I'm selfish too. I didn't deserve it, but I'll never feel guilty about it. I had too much at stake to feel guilty when I got everything I wanted. I know exactly how that feels. Unlike you, though, they took it away again when they were done with me. Oh? It looks like they weren't able to for very long, though. You don't get anywhere with girls if you insist on believing you had it the worst. Every girl has it the worst. You know, I liked it better when I was dragging you. Are you ready to try again? Teach me a lesson or get over yourself. And let me see what's under that envy. Saturn's got a good idea. Even as the croon macula tosses the fleet apart with tidal forces, the string of pearls closes in. She can be as close to touch, yet always out of reach. This time she sets FX to as close as can be. Of course, that's in the crush of her gravity well, but that's fine, because Saturn's dedicated her life to being a fucked up loser. I thought for sure I could make you squirm, but you're so perfect. You're even better at accepting that you're not perfect than me. But that's not to say that I'll let up for a moment, no matter how bad at this I am. I love that. It's a great thing about you. You don't know how strong your belief is. You know you're going to lose, but fight anyway, and believe you're going to win even still. I always win even when I lose. I would never go in if I didn't know that. Electrotoxic waves sting the croon macula as she embraces the string of pearls. It's like making out with a battery. It's uncomfortably like getting electrocuted, but comfortably like making out. Hell yeah. How long can you keep that up? How long can you last if you're crushed like this? What, isn't this a great idea? Being crushed like a pancake under you is great. You're really incorrigible. I love it. But I can last longer than you can. Maybe, but is it worth it? You're not able to waste time like I can. I'll make it way worse for you. But I can keep this up. I've got nothing to lose. That's so selfish and ridiculous. It's the worst for everyone. I love it. It's really kind of outrageous. I can't believe it. Okay, you win, even though your side objectively loses. What do you want? Saturn's weapons slow and fizzle, but Pluto doesn't quite let go. Just hearing I won is all I want. You're really right about yourself. You're totally the worst. I wish I could be just like that. Next time we meet, I'll show you. Okay, tensions. God, Pluto is hot. The captain told me to thank you for the data stream. You're very welcome. Do you have new results for me? Yes, I'll encrypt them. Thank you, you're the best. I guess there's no point in asking what you want them for. How afraid should I be? I'm just trying to fulfill our mission, Mercury. You know that. I'm going to tell him you're as inscrutable and petulant as ever. Oh, please, I don't want your hubby to hate me. Why do you always call Ganymede the captain anyway, lol? Because some of us have a sense of discretion. Aw, Captain's pet is so well behaved. You're one to talk, Saturn. You're gonna end up at the pound one of these days, and if you go through any more superior officers. No, it's cute. You both tidally locked that quick. You're making all the lesbians jealous. Then act like it, Saturn. And I will not apologize for locking it down. I've had my fill of being a pet. I don't really want to be a pet either. Maybe you were learning to love yourself. What I'd like is to be a toy. That's even worse. No, it's better. Plastic and metal can be molded in any kind of shape. You can smooth over and change whatever you want. You only have to accept the interference you're designed for. A toy never gets to do anything. It just sits there looking pretty. Mercury, what do you think I want? Don't you love how our ship selves evoke so much? Just by being plastic in the silhouette of a human? These beam weapons are my fingertips. This chassis is my tits. Hang on. Oh man, that's a quote to remember. But they're also beam weapons and impenetrable chassis. They can shred the plastic all they want, but they can't touch me. Plastic can't get hurt. But you still can be, don't forget. People fawn over objects
fawn over objects. They worship them. I want to be the product they obsess over. I thought you were tired of getting thrown away. I'm not for individual retail sale. Look, don't touch. One of a kind, not sold in stores. Amazing. Iconic. Annual Academy student rating. I won't rate them. They're still learning. Given this, Halamede is underperforming based on the expectations that you set out for her. I told you the projections were completely divorced from reality repeatedly for this very reason. The authority she may have wielded on Earth means nothing up here. I should add, because I know you'll forget it as early as is convenient, that she is performing very highly compared to her peer group in the specific areas that you seem to consider so highly. Yes, even compared to your Generation 1 aces, she has the potential to surpass them, so stop asking if she has surpassed the top one yet. I'd prefer to keep those two as separate as possible for interpersonal reasons. Halamede is too competitive and easily impressed to not make me worry about placing her in close contact with the number 1 ace. Your attempts to put those two in the same room has not gone unnoticed by me. Do you just love drama, Iapetus, or is there something else you believe is more important than the health of our pilots? Nick's final resignation. In these moments, nothing is more painful than being patronized, but you couldn't even spare me that. I can't understand why you thought me to be that naive, though. I really did know. They thought a world where the children were together and free and could write their own futures sounded wonderful. We didn't even get close for them to understand that that's not what they wanted. I knew it from the start. I regret only that I didn't get further before they noticed. You are asking for my resignation, but there's nowhere else for me to go, and there's nowhere else for those children to go either. I won't let you have them, and I won't let you crush them back to their earthly shapes. What you're asking instead is for me to declare war. So I will do so, and we will see if Earth's tides are truly powerful enough to crush the new humanity you rejected. Nyx. Well, that sounded pretty damn badass. Kissy time! No, go ahead, take your time. We're not dying yet or anything. You know, fighting officially on Ares is a lot less fun than I was promised it would be. It's real work, Saturn. I thought that's what all of that getting back on our good side was all about. They shouldn't have done such a good job of hiding in the oxygen ocean then. They shouldn't have done such a good job of hiding in the oxygen ocean then. You could maybe stage an attack from the Olympus ruins, but not even Cradle's Grace is precious enough to defend them. Memorial Foundation is thorough enough to watch over it. Of course, only they would be that annoying. There's recent activity there, and they want an investigation. They're just being paranoid. That's a stupid plan, and they're only sending someone there to waste their time chancing we're dumb. Or baiting us. Would they really send their ace if that was the case? Wait, that old Memorial Foundation warhorse, you mean? Why didn't you tell me the most important part first? Coordinates now, please! Saturn, I really hope you are not actually... Yeah, I'm feeling like... You know, Command is right, actually. That area needs some really thorough investigation, just to be sure. What's with the sudden enthusiasm? It's really not... No, wait, it's exactly like you. When you said you fought off the Maricrisium pilot, what were you actually doing? I don't know what you're talking about, Mercury. I was so dutiful and brought this back in one piece, so that means I won, so don't worry about it. Why are you like this? Saturn gets no-scoped by Lunatera. Lunatera gets a point-blank encounter. No, fucking snipe me. Snipe me good. Never forgotten, every story told. The balance shifts because Lunatera could hold still and Saturn couldn't. Correct for gravity, it's unsettlingly weak. Correct for the cold blue starry daylight of the fragile Ares atmosphere. Sniping from the remains of the capital spire is like being just an eye and a trigger finger, a thrilling place for Lunatera to fight. Correct for wind, it's skittish and powerless. Correct for gravity. There's still too much of it. Correct for the nuisances of this infant planet that will never be. Skirting along the abandoned roads of the city that never was is like being an exposed nerve, a thrilling place for Saturn to fight. I see you. Lunaterra squeezes the trigger for the 17th time. The cover couldn't protect String of Pearls from Lunaterra's eyes, and it sure can't protect her from her trigger finger. Engage reactor. Initiate inertial control. The slug whips right by Saturn, and that's 7 times dodged. The 4 shrinking holes in her chassis, marching closer to the String of Pearls' heart. Mark what happens when she doesn't. Getting shot still sucks. Saturn isn't used to it. That one was so close. That was really, really, really close. Tell me I'm getting better, right? No way it's just luck. You've gone from getting hit all the time to getting hit half the time. That's better, but what you want is to be hit none of the time. Don't tell me what I want. Maybe I love being shot. You wouldn't be the first. Wow, weird. You must fight some really problematic people. Some pilots find interesting ways to pass the time. I kinda get the appeal. What else is there to do? If you didn't love getting shot so much, you wouldn't run around space shooting each other. If that's true, why did you come here to fight? If that's true, why did you come here? There's nothing left to fight over on Ares for anyone. Give me one thing to do more fun than look demure and get shot at. Someone has to do the shooting. That tells me what position you favor, but it doesn't answer my question. I'm taking evasive maneuvers. If I dodge the next one, answer my question. I won't answer the first one, but I'll answer a different one. If you dodge. Saturn gets so quiet. She gets so still, yet her heart is thumping, her reactor is thrumming with resonance. It's obvious Lunaterra is sniping her from the tower, the city's last and tallest building. But now, suddenly, she isn't so sure. She isn't sure if she knows where Lunaterra is, or if she knows anything about her at all. What did her face look like again? Hit. It's not that Saturn wasn't on the ready. She's baiting. She knows exactly what she's doing. Lunaterra just guessed for the 1/2 second where Saturn wasn't ready and slipped her solid light bullet in that space. The shot lands right in her throat. For a moment Saturn's just, I'm dead. But she's not. Then she hurts so bad she wants to die. But she's just mistaking the very different things the String of Pearls feels instead of that. How do I do that? It's not really pain, but it's a feeling so overwhelming it shuts Saturn down like pain would. It's fascinating, full of information. Lunaterra, you're not doing a very good job at convincing me to not try and get shot. I've heard that before, too. You sure are having fun. What makes you think that? Want to know how I know? When correcting for gravity, the impression you leave in space feels a little for a second like... Well, someone might say it's an eye roll, but I think it's kind of like a giggle, too. Maybe that counts as a hit. You don't win cat and mouse games by batting every time a head pokes out. Except somehow you do. You're good at making people not follow their own better instincts. You shouldn't be getting me to teach you to fight fair. You do much better like this. Well, thank you. I don't fight fair because I have absolutely no idea how to fight. But this is why I hate you, Lunaterra. You just don't get it. I want to beat you at something you're good at. You're really tough. Not your sniping, which can't stop me at all, but how you're totally impenetrable. You're doing something tricky. What are you doing? It's still my question, my hit, and that's the rules. Why are you here? Firstly, because I refuse to ever be bored, just like you. Secondly, wiping that smug expression off your face is my deepest desire, so teach me how to weave through your fire and sink my claws in you. What's the third reason? Not telling. I already gave you one for free. Nice dodge. My question then. Dodge a real one first. Lunaterra fires and Saturn leaps forward directly into it. The bullet misses. Her tail sparks and she thrusts through the atmosphere. How's that? Good work. But you have to keep it up. Lunaterra lands a bullet straight through her legs and Saturn crumples. But the moment her limbs heal, Saturn leaps again. She's ready for the next bullet, but not the one behind it. But that one's a clean shot, right through her no stopping power at all. Right through her no stopping power at all, and she leaps through again and is gone in the rubble before Lunaterra can land another shot. Is that more dodges or more hits? Counterpoint. Here's my opinion on getting shot so far. It fills my brain with overwhelming information and barely stops me from doing anything at all because I'm in control of an impossible space war machine. So can you actually say you've really hit me? Flawed argument. Really disappointing, and I was expecting a lot better. Am I losing? Can I ever lose no matter how much you shoot me? I don't think so. I don't actually think so. This machine is never going to lose. You can pin me down. You might be so much better than me I couldn't beat you in a million years, but I'll keep trying and beat you with dumb luck. Maybe that's true. You never hit me. Why are you here? Did you know that there's a theory that ship cells can't actually be destroyed? You can break as much of them as you want, but the gravity engine will always pull it back into shape. As long as you're sufficiently tenacious, you can survive anything and try again until you get it right. So you do get what this machine is for. My least favorite person in the world came up with that theory, and this is the ship self to test it, so naturally I know all about it. But it's true that no one has died. That's why they get to say that there's still no war in space. Dodging my question again? But in practice, wrecking a ship self until both the pilot and the ship give up is indistinguishable. Because you can become so broken, continuing is impossible. Even if they can't kill you, you can be changed. You think you can do that to me? Or is that what you want to have happen to you? I have. To people who have much more fun with this than you do. Ha! This don't call it a war is nothing but play fighting. All it takes is someone not playing along to ruin it all. A solid light slug passes so close to Saturn's head the heat chars her face black. But it's not a hit. She incremented to the left, 0.05 seconds before impact. Oh, you're getting better. It's definitely my question now. I'm still answering. That theory has not been disproven. It's more than likely true. But this is something you should know first. Your body can't be killed or destroyed, but it can be changed. When you're hit, truly hit, you're bent into a different kind of shape, and through that you can change. I think you should ask yourself if you're ready for that before you say you want to play with me for real. Speaking from experience about that always bleeding wound on your ship self, it's not always a bad thing to change. Last one. If you can't dodge this, I don't think you're ready. Once again, Saturn feels Lunaterra slipping away. She's not here. She's not anywhere. She's never was. Once again, it's my hit. Electricity explodes from the target point and connects back to the origin. It starts from where Lunaterra is, and when it connects back to Saturn fast as light, the course correction defines the pathway retroactively. Wow. I'm an idiot. This is great. You're not supposed to be ecstatic about someone getting the best of you. That's my move. Sorry. But I was condescending before. Next time we fight, it'll be for real. What if I don't want to fight? Then that'll be real then, too. September 12th, 1963. That's when the first and last artificial colony of the native sphere was completed, in a tranquil bowl of stable gravity at Lagrange Point 5. As the front line against existential threats, a training facility for a generation of humans adapted to fight in space. As a colony environment with the life, gravity, and culture necessary for human beings to live, thrive, die, and be born. With the hope that peace on Earth would reign if we won this war in heaven. Without pressure, water boils off our tongues, and we dissolve into component parts. Without culture, we forget the shapes we're supposed to have, and turn inside out into something else. Out of necessity, we created a pressurized environment, exerting enough gravitational pressure to maintain cohesion, all senses, in space, a ship self to ferry us through the world. They function only in places where the gravity of humans is too light to sustain existence. It was doomed from the start. Of course they were jealous. Of the humans the Earth no longer wanted, flying on zero-G wings. Dr. Nix, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Expansion. July 29, 1958. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority in the spirit of unified human peace and the verified presence of an existential threat outside the solar system to establish a cultural, military, and scientific response to existential threats. No longer confined to Earth, a growing native sphere where our gravity reigns forever. Safety, research, and expansion. The three pillars of Memorial Foundation's space branch will protect Earth from without as it The three pillars of Memorial Foundation's space branch will protect Earth from without as it has from within. Free from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint and join hands, all of Earth finally unified. For Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from other humans through peace on Earth and protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven would fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really, foolishly, decided we could do better. There are two errors to this approach. The first is that to do better in heaven is meaningless if it cannot be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the surface. It simply did not have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of Memorial Foundation. The existential threat is intrinsic to humanity. You can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. The designation of alien is required by humans. We cannot trick an existential threat into a convenient manifestation. As it has always been, only humans can fulfill the criteria to be alien. Europa, Chief Officer, Memorial Foundation Existential Safety. Sip of coffee real quick. January 2nd, 1980. That's when they blew up the Lagrange colony. It was a real shame. It was a green, wet, and very peaceful place. And now it's a very cold, green, wet, and very unsettling place. It's where we did a lot of legitimately incredible things, like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiment with human bodies and human development, manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space exploration, and did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable existential threat. Earth and the Memorial Foundation's surface considers that a failure, but in truth, they're just not trying hard enough. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Through imagining, humans chart out what is true. They invent, with human effort, what exists. If an existential threat doesn't exist, we just have to make one. But of course, it doesn't work like that. Nothing could be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are human, so the idea of something alien is unimaginable, because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of misunderstanding needed for humans to successfully classify something as alien. But before they blew it up, we got very close. Iapetus, Executive Director. D5. OS root core reformatting 67% complete. Awaiting flight path, input, manual inject, CM flight path, forcibly extracting coordinates. Coordinates received. Flight path passes through former pilot training school, Lagrange colony. Receiving new mission assignments. Error, block from ship self side. Manual inject, scan virus. Manual inject, extract. 3 viruses detected and deleted. You have new mission assignments. Colony, reclaim tidal reactor from colony core before Memorial Foundation. Colony, prevent theft of entire colony by Cradle's Graces. Accept orders. LeMayo. Accepted! Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Lagrange colony. I'm gonna check my mail first. Nick's resignation 2. Nix, you fundamentally misunderstood the purpose of pursuing the dream of space. I never sought to correct you. After all the great things you have accomplished are the result of that misunderstanding. You believed that your dream, so universally loved, was loved because we wanted it to come true. This was not the case, of course, even though I think the Memorial Foundation truly believed that they wanted the same as you. But as the tides of Earth turn, they realized in their own hearts that they are not the forefront of humanity's change, but slaves to its whims. To protect human culture means to always be at its beck and call, no matter what it becomes. And their dream is one of overwhelming power that will unlock the last mysteries and cement our authority forever. What your children achieved with freedom from gravity, we will have the power to determine on our own. I hope you can understand the depths of my gratitude to you for exploring these ideas, and that they might one day belong to us. Iapetus. Academy Student Research Records, Mercury. Of all the Generation 3 pilots, Mercury is far and away the one best suited to actually be a pilot, to the degree I'd be terrified of giving that position to any other one of Iapetus's nightmare brats. So there's absolutely no chance that he'll be assigned, of course. He really is trying to maximize. What I want to impress, however, is that Mercury is still someone Iapetus chose personally for the pilot role when he served himself during the Cold War, alongside the current second-tier candidate, Saturn. Mercury used to be a lot different, which is obvious. A lot of our pilots used to be a lot different, for reasons only space can explain. I think reducing it to Mercury's personal stake is as incomplete a reading as it would be for any of the other pilots in celestial mechanics. Some of them even know exactly what they're doing. Mercury, most of all. I don't think he has petulant grudges against humanity. He's just very critical. Speaking of Mercury, don't make it sound like I hate following command any less than you. Don't worry, I would never doubt that. Hey, Mercury, why are you still with Celestial Mechanics? Why are you? If you still are, that is. You're the one who can choose. Mercury, oh, don't. If you hadn't hijacked String of Pearls, you'd be here like me, waiting. To see if it's true, that we can be what comes after being human. I don't want that for you. I certainly don't trust or believe in Celestial Mechanics or Iapetus, but wasn't that the worst part? Even after he decided we weren't good enough to be the chosen pilots, neither of us left. He knew we wouldn't leave because we already wanted it too much. Do you still want that more than anything else? I don't know. I know what I don't want, and it's to have nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for what? Coming to space, going to the academy, never having a chance to fight in the Cold War, not having a say either way, falling stupidly for the worst man alive. I'm counting on you, Saturn, to give me something better than just the same Earth we left. You never have to worry about that. I have only the highest ambitions for us. Those girls you're flirting with better have a decent future for us, is all that I'm saying. Sure, fine, okay. Only if it's a really good one. If nothing else. I'll make sure that he doesn't get the future he wanted. Heh, any future but the future he wants is good. Give me and Ganymede a good place there, wherever and whenever it is. Friends. Solidarity. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna go potty, and then I think I'm probably honestly gonna go with Lunaterra first. So I will BRB real quick, y'all. Just a quick little break. You all do what you have to. You all go potty, get snacks, drinks, whatever. And I will see you all in a few minutes. BRB. And Froggy hops back. So we're gonna go after Lunaterra. Ugh, this place. You don't feel like seeing home again? Oh, come on. Don't tell me you don't have any fond memories of the Academy. I do, despite myself, and that's why I don't have any wish to see it like this. A ruined garden that only reminds us how weak the gravity of this whole venture really was compared to Earth. Not to mention, it was all for something completely worthless, too. Wait, now you're grumbling about a mission? This is historic! The Lagrange reactor is just a hollow shell, and there's barely any advantage to have in getting it. This better be a trap to use you as bait to get Memorial Foundation off our trail. Oh no, what a terrible trap to fall in! More flirting, I see. Is it unbearable? Yes, extremely. Are you really still getting nowhere with her? What are you talking about? I think you said you were going to crack her open and peel her shell, but I don't think you have. Ugh, you don't know anything! Shh! Ah, I am completely and utterly correct then. Shh. She's highly evasive. Point blank or sniper shot, I can't seem to hit her. Your type, I see. Shut up! I got the Academy's most notorious heartbreaker to look like an idiot at me, so I win, so shut up. She's even stupider than I thought she was. But she's not as stupid as me. Ugh, you're the one with the guts all over the place, with your guts all over the place. Oh, just... ugh. Fine. I'm frustrated, alright? But it's not because I'm not getting anywhere or because I even care. Alright, this time I'm done playing. Happy? If there's anything there, or if she's just metal all the way through, I'm gonna find out. If she is that boring, I'll never forgive her. But I'm coming back with guts this time. Fight for real in a fun way. No, let's be real. Pretty sure Lunatera, vibes with that. Not long ago, the Academy Gardens were beautiful, and they were warm. Now they are colder than space, because no feeling is as cold as wet is, not even vacuum. Under the stability of artificial gravity, Lagrange Colony was as Earth as Earth. Is the background slowly rotating? Or am I just seeing things? I think I'm just seeing things. Maybe even a little bit more. In being more Earth than Earth was, it was also less, and so Memorial Foundation Existential Safety ordered it abandoned first when the space program was decommissioned. Not everyone agreed, and then there was a fight, and then the colony became like this, ruined in a way only human beings or human things can be ruined. The reactor was shattered, and with it, all possibility for life and culture. Yet still, some of it lingers. Moss grows, objects gather. Sometimes there are whispers, tidal memories etched into space-time by the humans who spent too short a time there. True space is more of a numb feeling. It's the cold of nothing, and it feels like nothing, too. I'm not so lost in nostalgia I can't tell when I'm not alone. And I know I'm not alone, so say something. Huh, so you did come. You're always close by. And you're always hiding something. And you're always just out of reach. Even though I have seen your face, I feel like I haven't. Even though I've shot you through the heart, it feels like I never touched you. Maybe you're just dense, Lunatera. I felt those plenty. I should say that about you, in fact. Lunatera, maybe you're the one who never came close enough to touch me. Am I just that good? Or are you holding back? You're slippery. And you've gotten better, too. What makes you say that? I don't already know where you are this time. I must have been doing pretty awful before then. No, you weren't. But it's still unbelievable that you've gotten so good in such a short amount of time. So I don't believe it. There's no hiding how much I suck, huh? No, the opposite. There's no way you weren't this good before. That's not true. You have definitely been trained, haven't you? I never fought other pilots. Did you fight something else? That doesn't count. It was nothing but training, and then nothing. The existential threat was never real. It was a trick of the light, and our weapons pierced it with 100% accuracy every time, and no one was ever hurt, and it never became real enough to fight. That's true. It's also true that this isn't a real fight either. You were right when you called it play fighting. These machines weren't ever designed with practicality in mind. They simply aren't made with the intention to kill. I've read plenty of Dr. Nix. I don't need the lecture. And you're not even explaining it right. They did make ship selves with practicality in mind. They made them specifically in a shape that would not allow for death and war. Dr. Nix just didn't want an end to conflict, because that's silly. You can't be human without it. Death defeats the purpose of conflict, which is how humans communicate and change. Death and war end conflict. The ship self signals the fundamental transformation of human conflict from suffering into love. If you know it, explain it the right way! If you knew Dr. Nix, you might have a harder time taking it seriously. I'm not part of Cradle's Graces for a reason, you know. I'm not that dumb. Not that I don't get the appeal of wanting to be that dumb. Just kidding. No, I do too. Pluto has that effect, doesn't she? Yeah, I feel dumb every time. Me? Surely it makes you want to believe with your whole heart. Even if you never really quite can. And neither can she all the way through. She just tries very hard. Lunaterra, why are you really here? To stop me from taking a worthless artifact to fall into an obvious trap for another chance at stopping me once and for all? To rack up the glory and take all the errant children home for Memorial Foundation? To mess me up? Or to make out with me? Saturn feels herself growing in Lunaterra's eyes, suddenly clearly seen. Wasn't I just perfectly clear? What's this ship body for, anyway? I'm here to communicate. Aha, Lunaterra, you're really shallow and kinda dumb. I'm honest. Finally! You're lucky that's enough. Are you ready for that, though? I don't think you're ready. Well, I think I'm ready. You want me to check? I won't give an inch. I'm not like you girls. I'm not a cosmic glow of energy in the dark. Still, I'm metal, and I'm sharp. You really think I'm not like that too? But I'm already behind you. I'm already halfway there! Halfway there! Halfway there! It's a double lie, because the movement is to her left, but Saturn is coming from behind. LT's instincts are too good for her to not twitch fire to her left, even as she realizes it's just bullshit. But then there's nothing. The feeling of being so close to being struck that she can't tell if she was or not. Are you really not like us girls? I'm nothing special, like I said. But you dodged it. It wasn't real. Nothing to dodge. Obviously, that's the part that's hard. I'm fighting for real, just like you wanted. You're the one who wants that. And fine, dodge this. Lunaterra's vision fills with pink, and the neuroelectric toxin melting into her skin. It feels hallucinatory, weird, stubborn, aggressive, vulnerable, just like Saturn. In the poison electric haze, Lunaterra feels a little like Saturn. Ha! Got you! I like being wrong sometimes, you know? I like not being Memorial Foundation's perfect ace. It doesn't seem to really suit you, if I'm being perfectly honest. Neither does playing by the rules. If ship cells don't play by the rules when you're fighting, it stops looking like fighting. Oh yeah? What does it start looking like? Also, that's not where I am. Liar. Are you willing to bet on it? Yeah. Then go! Stakes of hard light are fine for flirting, but that's not what this is. The Mare Crisium spear made for reconciling the Earth and the Moon is meant to be used up close. It's the distance where skin touches skin, the obligation that humans have for other humans, hard like gravity and warm like light. If no one has been worse at wielding that duty than Lunaterra, she's all the more the one who should be carrying that weight. Saturn only realizes after, when the lightness and heaviness starts to lift, that it had hit her too. Wow, I didn't think it was even possible to have a gravity less suited to you, let alone for you to be so good at using it. I really hate being in charge, actually. And I'm bad at it, too. But sometimes you're the only one left who can do it. Even if you hate it, and it's totally self-destructive, especially then. Sometimes I think, why do we have to fight anymore? Let's just do this obscene other thing, the thing that fighting could be. And then you say something like that, and I want to fight you so bad. You wouldn't get it. You're hilarious. It makes me want to see you squirm. Like, in a nice way, though. You can try. What? It's just funny. I love it when you play cool. 'Cause you're not. Let's communicate aggressively. That's what humans do. Sure, I've already given up on that worthless reactor. They're never gonna scold me enough to make me regret this. Hot damn. Whew! Ganymede intercept. Do not read, Saturn. I'm completely uninterested in communicating with Iapetus in any capacity that's not technically. I know my boundaries, but you are very nice to worry. I know you're not jealous because you do respect me, but don't make me worry. It's what I like about you. I know you're worried for me and not about me, and I appreciate that, but I do want to clarify things so you stop asking me about it, even though it is cute and I do appreciate it. Really. I'm not just saying that. Please don't hear that in a passive-aggressive voice. But I've been meaning to ask this for a while. Is it okay that I believe in this? It's important to me that you understand that it's nothing to do with him. So I worry that means that you don't understand what it means for me. I don't believe humanity needs to be punished. I'm fine being human, but I think an important reminder is needed. Not alien in the sense of a foreign other that can bear all of our rage and hatred, but alien in the sense of casting our own features into relief. I think what we see as a result should shame us, but there are many things we need to see. You'll probably say you support me and believe in me. Thank you. But you'll also say that it means something to you too. And that's really why I love you. Oh. Iapetus message intercept. This is not what we talked about. Not by a mile. You know I don't actually have a moral compass that does not revolve around what's cool. So coming from me, just know that it's my professional opinion that I'm not even sure that this is cool anymore. Creating a theoretical matter is not even hard under laboratory conditions, and in space it's easy to sustain it. But the creation of exotic matter like electrotoxins can get really not fun if you aren't careful. Since you hate fun, I already know that's not what you're after, and you don't have to level with me or anything. That's fine. Stella, wifey! Big cuddle smooches. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah, Jay redeemed a stream Froggy for you. And I see you want the same. Flip. There we go. Okay. You've missed quite a bit of gay so far. But, like, I have a feeling like there is still so much more of this game to cover, so... like, I have a feeling like there's still a lot of it that I'm kind of lost in. I picked up on, like, some of the symbolism, I think? Maybe? Possibly? But yeah, there's still much to explore. I'm playing Saturn, and, she's a rambunctious, like, you know, rule-breaking gay. Pluto is really hot. And Lunaterra is, like, muscle lesbian. And having a back and forth with Saturn. But I'm following up soon with another brush up with Pluto. You'll get all the context if you watch the VOD. You watch the VOD whenever it comes out. Anyway. Since you hate fun, and but I do want you to know that this thing is basically designed to degenerate as quickly as possible. The reactor tends towards aversion, and that will require a pilot I really would not want to meet, and a piloting style that no one should ever do. Eventually it's going to drag the pilot down, and that's going to be really weird and ugly unless they are immediately destroyed. Clearly you want that, I mean, you've said so, but if they're going to have so much fun, let me try to convince you that you should set a self-destruct in there. Maybe something cool will happen when she averts and this ship self keeps her anchored in space-time to mess everything up. If it's not, don't you want a backup option? Saturn, I would love it. Just love it. Yeah? By the way, Mercury is a trans dude. If you messed up everything this time, just let me mess everything up this time. Is this reverse psychology? Did I really reduce you to that? I'm a little impressed by your persistence in nagging me, but now I'm feeling like I pushed you to your limit. Shut up. As always, I am serious. Messing things up is literally the only thing in the world no one has ever needed to specifically tell me to do. And you keep yelling at me when I do. I've been looking into Iapetus's work on the Aversion Project. Oh. How much do you know? More than you know. Of course it was always suspicious that Iapetus decided to support us. Dear and Jesus! Hello! Welcome! How are you doing tonight? He was very insistent in his interest in taking humanity to the next stage. As if that is why any of us wanted to connect with the so-called existential threat. People who already had everything on Earth couldn't possibly understand. They just want even more for themselves. Oh my, you have the drungs? Well, enjoy your drungs. But be responsible with your drungs. That's what I thought too. Iapetus's plan is very attractive to certain factions in Memorial Foundation. Certain factions in Memorial Foundation really liked the days when humanity was united against the existential threat. Except aliens aren't real. Okay, they're an nth-dimensional shadow cast by the gravitational impression of human culture and space-time, but that makes them a few shades short of real and much less dangerous than their cousins on Earth, and even those are so weak kids with radios can take them out. It's even being less depressed now. Goody goody! I'm happy for you. Anyways, Pluto wiped them out. That was the whole plan. Since humanity doesn't care about them anymore, they'd never expect that we would find a way to avert our tidal reactors and become the aliens ourselves. The only alien is what is alien to us, and that's fundamentally humanity. We're aliens to ourselves. Fx equals that which is human that humans are not. And Iapetus isn't going to give up everything he has for that. You think he's lying about wanting to? I think he's lying about himself wanting to. I think he's happy to let us complete the project and go home. Because he'll have exactly what he and the rest of humanity is longing for. A scapegoat. Someone to be an alien humanity could guiltlessly fight against. Yes. I'm fine with abandoning Earth. It hasn't given me anything. But not on his terms. Not ever. Don't worry, Mercury. I've got a plan. No matter what, it won't go his way. Alright. Yeah, Lagrange colony. Uninhabitable husk. The whole colony? It's so refreshing to see you surprised for once, Saturn. I'm soaking it in. Ha ha ha, Mercury, but seriously? He wants me to stop Cradle's Graces from taking the entire colony out of the Lagrange point? Why? Why would they do that? Why would we care enough to stop them from trying? The colony should just rot. It's over. There's nothing left there. Cradle's Graces wants those memories to live again. We need to discard Earth completely and start something new. It's an anchor pulling us back home. The success of opening the gravity well on the moon will depend completely on how much is holding us down, even weak gravity like that. That's more than just stopping her, then. You want me to destroy the colony. That's the mission, yes. Not that I'm not the greatest, but isn't that basically impossible for me? It's huge. There are smaller moons. Do your best, then. The less memories, the better. I thought you didn't have any problems, that the colony should just rot. Ha! That's a funny joke. We both went through the same shit. Don't ask me that. Every happy memory is made retroactively disgusting by the sort of person Iapetus has turned out to be. I hate him so much. I will never get over how much. Hashtag blow up the moon. Saturn. Yes, Mercury? Then why are you still pretending to be with celestial mechanics? Why are you doing this is the real question, Mercury. You know him like I do, so why are you still here? I apparently have enough power to destroy a colony, and I can dish him whenever I want. Leave celestial mechanics, take Ganymede, leave celestial mechanics, take Ganymede. I'll protect you. I'll make sure there's a good future in the end. You absolutely will not be fine if I leave. Of course I don't trust him at all, but he wants what I want. It's what you want, too. I can't trust him on anything else, but I can trust him on that. Even if he's just doing this for his own gain, with some other agenda in mind, he's truly going to give us this. Ugh, disgusting. That's what I fell for, so stop reminding me. That's why I trust you too, of course, even though I shouldn't. I know you won't accept anything less than what you want. If you can get even half of that, it'll be more than enough for me. Battle in physical space for the future. Battle in narrative space for each other. Based on everything we know about, like, celestial mechanics and such, like, no. No, I want my Pluto, please. Saturn rushes in because Pluto is ready for this kind of fight. This is not what I was expecting. Like, you're kidding, right? No, Pluto isn't joking. The farthest thing. The swirl of cosmic nebula dust that completely obscures the colony in Pluto's warm embrace is no punchline. Only insofar as it is true that Pluto is so strong, it's funny. The colony no longer resembles Earth. Now it's a gas giant. Or maybe a star waiting to be born. Whatever the case, even though it's certainly much too late to do anything about it, there's an invitation from inside. Just come try. You must think I'm really dumb. Or you must have a lot of faith in me. In which case you're really dumb. It could be Saturn's perfect opportunity if she plays her cards right. Pluto's putting everything she has and more into just attempting to move the colony. If Saturn can find her, she'll be helpless. And how am I supposed to do that with you filling up the whole universe? Your story is everywhere, pulling at everything. How am I supposed to compete with gravity so strong even the narrative of space-time is bending? Oh, hi there, Saturn. Are you just passing through? Haha. Hi. Fancy meeting you here. How did you know it was me? Weird to find you in the middle of an inconceivable cosmic cloud only you could create. I know! What a coincidence! We're sort of in order to fire on anyone in it, though. I think this might make things awkward if you try to get closer. You could at least pretend to be a little afraid of me. I am, just a little. But even if I should be, I'm glad to see you. I hope that's not a lie. On either part. No, it isn't. I know you're dangerous and very special, and you wouldn't be here if you couldn't stop me. Even if you're not quite ready for how hard that will be. I'm very impressed that you didn't decide to sneak up on me while I was thinking, though. It would have been a good chance. Oh? Are you maybe having second thoughts? I was hoping I could convince you to destroy this place with me. You're impossible! It's adorable. You're incorrigible. I like it a lot, actually. I even envy it a little. Oh. Thank you. I was just being difficult. Which is very charming of me. But I was half serious, too. Nope. Never. I was almost tempted, though. That's no moon anymore. Pluto does seem like best girl. I'm steering that way. I'm really steering that way. I don't know what your memories of this place are like. They're bad and good, right? Always a little worse than better. It's the same for me, but this place is still precious to me. It was a seed of life once, and maybe it can bloom again. So I'm going to protect it. Oh, that reminds me. What are you here for? Haha. Do you mind if I ask a personal question? What are you trying to do with it? I'm going to not destroy it. Oh, phew. That's what I was worried about. I really know when I'm beat, so I'll just beat. Hey! Stop right there! What? I was just trying to banter. You tried to shoot me. That's dangerous. I didn't. You were thinking about it. Of course. Well, she was. More like Saturn was trying to get a beat on Pluto. The string of pearls tides ripple through Pluto's nebula cloud, hoping there's something in it, something it can find eventually. Shoot through your heart. It's not like Pluto is hiding. She's just everywhere, and it's hard to tell where she ends or begins. Aren't you thinking about shooting me too? You're the one with the advantage on visibility. I'm just sitting here and I can't find you in that cloud. Oh, you're totally right. Dear superweapon of Cradle's graces, are you actually a little naive? I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Was that wrong? Obviously. Sorry, I never learned to be on my guard. There's no need to be when I can tell what people are thinking and nothing can touch me. If it really actually worked like that, you'd absolutely never trust anyone ever. No, I trust everyone. I can always trust people to do what they always do. Do you think you can trust someone to surprise you? Can you trust them to do something you wouldn't even think of? It's when they surprise me that I'm the happiest of all. That's when I really feel we're not doomed, set in stone, always making the same mistakes. Let me touch you, I'm being stupid and following my heart, just like you. You're gonna have to do better than shoot at me if you want to surprise me. There are other ways to fight. You're better at that than me. I think you can surprise me. Is that what you want? On Earth, our souls are weighed down by gravity. At the same time, gravity holds us together, tells us who we are, good things and bad. Jump out of your mech so she has to catch you in her arms. God, if only. The Earth's gravity is strong because it's all of us together. Forces that would be insignificant on their own are powerful enough to make a planet when we hold it together. That's why we are much stronger than Earth. Even the weakest human has that sacred light of the soul and its many powers. To forbid direct contact with the soul, to wield the arts and sciences in shaping existence, to be many and also one. In space, our gravity is weak. Without the constant pressure of tidal reactors, our souls would dissolve, the way that water at high enough altitudes will evaporate off a pilot's tongue without atmospheric pressure to remind it to be water. Stories bleed into each other easily, and our shapes don't hold steady. The fragility of our ships couldn't survive a moment on Earth. In space, there are things we could never do on Earth. With our heaviness, we can never be so tender. Okay, I get it. Let's pick up from earlier, but fight in the way only pilots can fight. In the way only us, close to the edge of being human, can fight. That isn't fighting at all. Do you feel the same way, Pluto? You are listening, right? I was going to tell you I don't have time to play today, but it sounds like you know I still want to anyway. That's going to make it harder to convince you to leave me alone and let me do this. You are here to play, right? No convincing me. I can pick up on the subtext. Hell yeah. Blame it on the wicked celestial mechanics pilot who bothered you and didn't let you get any work done. The thing is, it's fun. More fun than hacking. To bleed, corrode, seep into the mist. Saturn can feel every particle, and the celestial physics that make them move. It's a swelling orchestration. Pluto is conducting something beautiful, something overwhelming. In the equations are hints and patterns to how Pluto thinks to where she might be. It's simple to trace back, easier than hacking too. Space is boring. Space is empty. Space is broken. Space will never give us everything we want. Space is a hope that what we want to make real might already be out there. Just reach out in space and time, and we can almost touch it. Space is just a means to an end. But for a moment, Saturn is overwhelmed with just how beautiful even the boring, dead, empty space can be. Even just the way that dust moves around. Sounds like it's time to remove the space between you and Pluto. You get me! That's when Saturn realizes she is lost. She went in to tear open the story, twist it around, and instead she got so lost and happy in it, she didn't even notice the clouds swirling around her, the cosmic dust covering her, Pluto holding her tenderly. Yes! Pulled into the atmosphere of the colony, they orbit gently. Saturn has no reason to fight. It doesn't even feel like she lost. It feels like she won something special. Okay, Saturn. Open your cockpit. Why? Because I trust you. Do you trust me? I do. The same way you trust me. No. I trust you way dumber than you trust me. You're so amazing, and so much more amazing because you believe in something like being human. You pour your everything into something that won't pay off. That makes me mad, but then sometimes I think it might work. Saturn's cockpit opens. Naked guts, exposed circuits. Crew Macula's thumb presses against Saturn and the distended cockpit, exploring. Strip that cockpit, baby! Swirl into her fog! Oh no. You're really hooked in good there. Why would you ever do such a thing to yourself? You don't have to answer. I understand. Your cheek feels human and soft. Oh wow. Suddenly I don't feel like moving the colony much. Maybe not destroyed any more than it was before will be good enough. Why am I doing this? I need to get back to my post. But you look so nice like this. I want to get closer. Is that okay? Yes! No, I guess I should. Woo! There's no post more important than this moment together. 100% agreed. Less veins? The gays win! Oh my god. Oh shit. Colony, what colony? Colony, what colony? All I know is this kiss. Wow, that's so... What a brazen move. Okay, okay. Maybe you really win this time. Hell yeah, we do! Fuck yes! Oh my god. Fuck. I'm trying to savor it. Oh, the way she held her chin with her jaw with that hand. Oh my. Girls. Women. Ladies. God, Pluto is hot. You looked onto her mist with your tractor love beam and took her into your arms, admitting slowly, ever wanting to leave each other. This woman surpassing any sensation, any fight I had even given her. I'll just take a drink. Gay love is the universe's greatest, most brilliant treasure. God, I love being a lesbian. Okay. It's January 30th, 1981, and the day is almost here. The deadline to save everyone who came up to space with us, fought with us, tried to bring everyone up with us. If we shut down the lunar gravity well, there won't be any choice left. The power that keeps our ship's cells in check will fall apart, and we won't have anywhere else to go but home. If we kill the dream, no one will die. We really, really hope that's true. No one should die in space. No one should die, period. No one has to die, because ship self-combat is shimmering missiles of light, cosmic explosions, electricity that sears through the soul. Blade science is impossible for a human to produce. Dances of combat without end. A fight against ideas with toys. Humans would never show that sort of compassion to each other. Earth's answer is a single atomic particle fired at near light speed directly into the cockpit core. A true weapon from a military force. The quickest, most efficient, instantaneous, unavoidable way to kill a human. The most boring way to pointlessly die. No drama, no meaning. Just nothing. Gravity? Nah, it's their attraction to each other that's pulling them together. It's January 30th, 1981. In the end, they might get everything they want, in the way that no one wants. If we open up the lunar gravity well, then we can establish forever another Earth, and maybe another. We can inhabit the whole system, but that will cut humanity into two and more. The distance will be so much further. Everything we have will be even further from them. How much are we going to lose? How much will we never be able to give them? The moon is very close to being part of Earth. It's full of life, and humans can live here now. It feels impossible, and I don't want to give it up. We should break it off forever, shouldn't we? All we want is to stitch these two humanities together. But if one of us dies, as a result, I will fight forever to keep that precious thing alive. Pluto, Princess of Cradle's Graces. January 30th, 1981. They don't name it because naming it gives it power, but not naming it gives it more. It must be in every corner, behind every door, far, far away in the spaces between stars. It is defined and categorized in every human culture, and it is deliberately omitted from explicit naming conventions by Memorial Foundation in favor of a euphemism less captivating to the imagination, such as existential threat, rather than a specific word that would stimulate the imagination. But a trick like this will not work. In the euphemism is a hollow void that can hold all fears and all possibilities. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. But what is not does not stop existing. And it, like humans, can decide. It's the kiss of the inverse, everything that humans can imagine but can't become. The shortcut to attaining it is to forsake everything that humans already are. If a bunch of idiots get tricked into going there, it would make a very convenient enemy for Earth. And that's their real fear. Before that happens, I'll tell you a little secret. Ready? Saturn. Day 7. Route installation complete. New OS in operation. Celestial Mechanics fleet collecting in the orbit of Earth's moon. Request for assistance received. Ignore. Awaiting manual input of mission parameters. Assist Cradle's Graces and Celestial Mechanics with the opening of the gravity well and changing gravitational constants to make conflict with Earth possible. Mission created. Get in as much trouble as possible with the Memorial Foundation ace. Mission created. Calculating gravitational slingshot data from server hack. Ready for launch? Why? Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Earth's moon. Hell yeah. Do you think about Neath still? That's out of nowhere. I think about them every day, honestly. They're the reason Celestial Mechanics exists. First to understand what happened to them, and then, because we couldn't stop thinking about it, about how to make what happened to them happen to us. We still don't know what it was exactly. They had us all get together to reach through space and time and contact the existential threat wherever it came from, to make sure that it truly had been defeated for good. I think they were really hoping it wasn't. We felt the same, especially us, who never got to fight yet. We reached together as far as we could, and Neath reached farther than anyone. I didn't think it would have been them before anyone else. But I didn't know them. Was it that they reached too far? Or what? Or something reached to them? What's the difference? In the end, they got it. Whatever it was. Are you having second thoughts? Maybe. And they were the only one. I always wondered why that was. They were special. In a good way or a bad way? They were chosen. What would be the criteria? We know it's none of that, though. Just a lonely, unchosen child, without so little presence in this world they fell into another one. That's how it is. The only trick is how to do it on purpose. That's just it. Are we too attached? I want to be something new, and share it with everyone. Am I too heavy for the apple? It's a thin line between falling into inverse and because you have hope. He got hit by a bus and got isekai. And because you don't have any left. We should be glad it's not so easy, you know. My children, Director Nix. They aren't children anymore, but when they were pilots, they were, for all the obvious reasons that children are more suited to be pilots than adults. Well, there's a little, nod to Evangelion. Since the decline of the space program, and there have been fewer and fewer waves of new recruits, and the current pilot generations have no successors. Adults are serving as pilots because there are no longer any children in space, and adults should not have to serve as pilots. Thinking more nod to Ender's Game. I don't know much about Ender's Game. Frankly, I don't have much interest. It would be cruel to send children to fight a war so that adults don't have to, especially as adults have far more powerful tidal forces than children. In their physical and metaphorical manifestation, tides are the measurement of the authority that culture has over the universe, the light of the soul that turns all impossible things into our dominion. The gravitational forces of children are weak enough to perceive and engage the existential threat without obliterating it instantly, and as a cancer that exerts a subtle influence in the back of our unknowing minds, they are suited to protect us from it. For this reason, Memorial Foundation has pushed against traditional cultural institutions for engaging existential threats with this more humane practice, due to the resiliency of children and detrimental long-term effects contact with existential threats has on adults in the vast majority of cases. In some exceptional circumstances, contamination lingers in children. Their gravitational forces never achieve sufficient power to extinguish the existential threat without resistance. Without the tidal force to challenge other adults, they remain in limbo, unsuited to anything else. The remaining small percentage of the original pilot program that continues to reside in space is made of such cases. New aversion proposal. Thank you. I'm no different from my former colleagues. I think we all want the same thing ultimately, every one of us. I'd implore you to be forgiving of them, though not of their methods.
Laura! Laura, my big sister! Hi! Hello, how are you doing tonight? How was your stream? Hello, readers! I'm Issy, I'm Magical Frog. I'm Aura's little V-sister. I'm playing Heaven Will Be Mine. Doing good, how about you? That's good. I'm playing a very gay sci-fi novel. Remember, Pluto may not be a planet, but she is best girl. Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how much closer I am to finishing this route. I know there's multiple endings. This is the first time I played, of course. But I'm having a lot of fun. My inner lesbian is constantly screaming. Let's see. Where was I? Where was I? I implore you to be forgiving them, though not of their methods. Many of us are thankful for the ending of the Cold War. The paranoia and suspicion that accompanied the strength of the existential threat in this world as it fed on the trauma and malaise and discontent of the world after the war. But I think some of us must have some reservation about the future. In abandoning existential threats to address the threats of our home, it will inevitably result in us turning to conflict between humans once more, and in turn the existential threat will arrive. We are looking for the smoothest, most uncontested future. I won't lie. This will not ensure happiness for everyone. In fact, it may be difficult to understate how much it will ensure the opposite for what we will ensure are very few. But what I'm proposing will ensure the maximum happiness for the maximum number of people. And what else can we do? Alright, missions. Acceleration due to gravity. Celestial mechanics and Cradle's graces have one thing in common, and that's escaping Earth's gravity. Yes, it is a sci-fi novel. There's a lot of symbolism and allegories and stuff. using sci-fi tropes essentially as a symbolic like manifestation of like LGBTQ plus themes, you know, and like how to go about, you know, being gay or trans in the world and stuff. It can be kind of obtuse on first playthrough, but it's very powerful once you start to piece everything together. I would also recommend We Know the Devil, which is made by the same people, same dev team, another visual novel that came before this one. It deals with very similar themes, and it's presented in a very similar ways, except instead of sci-fi, it's like psychological occult horror, and like it's still really good. Anyway, and one thing in common, and it's escaping Earth's gravity. To do that, they need Saturn and Pluto to work together to corrupt the lunar gravity well. It's an opportunity for one to get the upper hand over the other, but they're not thinking about it politically. Plastic versus metal. Earth has promised to let the children of space sort themselves out for now, but their machines of war guard the way back home, just in case. When Saturn and Lunaterra meet in a chance encounter, the true terror of humanity stares them down. Saturn and Pluto, let's go. We can usually play both missions. You know, just one after the other. But granted, Saturn and Pluto did have a marvelous smooch, so I have incentive. How's the new equipment fitting? It's not that much weirder than how it was before. This mission really is a weird one, Mercury. This was always the plan, you know that. The lunar gravity well is the anchor that all tidal reactors resonate with. It's how ship cells maintain their form, how colonies on other planets and orbital bases and ships maintain environments humans can survive in. Gravity in both the literal and figurative senses is required for us to live in space, and without it, we'd dissolve into the universe, become everything that humans aren't. There's a lot of that in the universe, if you've noticed. If we want to turn into something interesting and specific, we have to make sure that we're controlling the aversion process. Is it going to work? Probably not. I wouldn't trust Iapetus to do this right. There's nothing in it for him, so why would he care? When he lived on Earth, he had everything he wanted. He isn't like anyone else who came to space. He's just flirting with the idea of transcending human limits for boring reasons, and only for his. There are no places left on Earth to conquer, so he wants to be the first to own the future. If this actually works, I don't want to share it with him. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I told you I was playing this how I wanted, right? I don't think you've seen this art too much. Last time it was different. This one's so pretty.
Oh, thank you, Umbra.
Yes, thank you. It's my casual outfit. Being able to stretch my, like, low-key goth aesthetic. I'm not letting him have this. Saturn tempts Pluto to fall in with her. Pluto tempts Saturn to entertain a silly dream. Well, we've gone on Betray this far. Let's keep going. Heading right into that black hole. We're not getting pulled out. Past the event horizon.
Thank you, Jay, for hydrate. I shall. And thank you for stretch.
Very nice. moon's south pole is the completion point for Earth, where all the terraforming begins and ends. Here, the skyscrapers rise up to catch the eternal light in what someday will be a city where night never comes. You're quiet. Is there something on your mind?
A lot, but nothing important.
Don't hide it from me. You know I can just read it off your gravitational field, right?
Are you sure?
You're never normally this quiet. Good to know even you can feel that way sometimes, but I didn't think it would be over this. The gravity well can't be that big a deal for someone like you to deal with. And I'm here too, in case you forgot.
Feeling out the tides is deeper than mind reading and not so literal, and you know that. That kind of mind reading is the kind every human can do, but few are any good at.
What kind is that?
Read my mind about it.
Are you nervous? No, I know exactly what I'm doing. I just wish everyone wasn't going to be watching us this whole time. I hate getting yelled at for no good reason. Don't you have people who are a pain in the ass to keep happy?
That's everyone in Cradle's Graces. Plus they love me, which makes it so hard.
That's why I ditched command. I couldn't stand being pestered constantly by superiors who don't know what they're talking about.
I don't have any superiors at all.
What? Lucky? Why?
'Cause I'm at the top.
Excuse me?
I'm the leader of Cradle's Graces, more or less.
Excuse me? What? Why?
For a lot of reasons, but mostly because no one else wants to be. Oh, Dr. Nix is in charge of most things still, but I do make the decisions.
Pluto confirmed top? Hell yeah! I mean, but why?
You're as bad as Mars. This is why it's so hard to get anything done. Cradle's Graces is just full of contradictory, impossible to reconcile, naive, and disorganized feelings. Someone has to bring all of that together.
No, stop. I mean, but why would you tell me that? I mean, shouldn't I take advantage of this?
Oh, I thought you just wanted to get to know me better and not engage in any of that cloak and dagger stuff.
You're crazy? Why would you trust me? I'm sketchy.
No, you're not. You're obnoxious to your friends, but you work hard all the time for their sake.
Wonder what Uranus is into. So far, there's no confirmation of any Uranus. And a sense of humor of a 5-year-old.
Embrace it.
You bullied a certain taciturn ace pilot, not because you hated her, but because you wanted her to grow up and stop wasting her talent on moping. You're always tempting me to your side, but you don't care if I join Celestial Mechanics or not. Also, you asked me how I was doing, if I was nervous, and told me you're here for me on a difficult mission, even though you tried to make it sound like you were lording it over me. Ugh.
So what do you really care about, that you keep coming after me whether you win or lose?
Not telling.
That's fine. You don't need to say anything for me to understand.
Uranus loves getting Neptuned. No, Neptune is in the last game. You're not here to fight, but they're here for you. I need to shut my mouth or I'll keep stuttering and embarrassing myself. Don't tell me that this whole time you've just been playing along like... I give up on being cool. It doesn't matter. No, wait, it does matter! I worked so hard to try and corrupt this good little pilot test brat of Cradle's Graces.
Don't be sad about still being a good girl. It's a really hard habit to break. I'm the real fool, though. I saw right through you and it worked on me just the same. I completely fell for it. Oh, we're almost there. Let's be careful, okay?
The slim tower, the tallest on the moon, ends in a point, and suspended above is the overpowering gravity well, claiming humanity's spot on the moon, a saved seat in the cosmos. It'll fall inert to the surface when culture is so fully rooted in the moon that the planet will produce a true human gravity. Then this body will be no longer Luna, but fully and truly the moon, just as Terra became Earth when humanity was born there. Dummy mommy Pluto, let's go! Yet, the gravity well can also be the seed of possibility. It doesn't have any preconceptions about what humans can be or should be. There's still time. Begin full output. Resonance handshake seeking. Acknowledged. Handshake received. Oscillating, rotating, responding. I am trying to seduce you, though. Endpoint reached. Synchronization complete. Aligned rotations. Acceleration high. Still acceptable. I just don't understand how you can be this strong and amazing and still wasted on all of them. Should you loop blur the screen?
I'll cover the screen in bubbles!
Tidal resonance achieved. Brace for resonance impact. So tell me, why do you waste so much of your time pestering pilots like Lunaterra and me? Tidal resonance far beyond the predicted levels. Begin bracing. Hold the course steady for insertion. That's dodging the question. Waves crashing, intensifying resistive force. It's not. You're not really any different. You care what happens to everyone in space too. Even fools like us deserve a chance at what they want. The part that makes me angry is how they won't just take what they want. If Earth has abandoned us, why go through so much trouble to reconcile with them? Resistance is incredible. The core's hypersuspension is refusing to decouple. Resistance is incredible. The core's hypersuspension is refusing to decouple. Better head out now. Early in the morning, have fun with Heaven Will Be Mine. Check this one out every time, not gonna lie. So far, I'm recommending. Highly recommending.
But have good sleeps. Good night.
Maximum output. Bending space, culture, time. Diluting possibility. Leaving humanity behind out of spite, just to prove how much you don't care about them, makes it sound like maybe you actually do care about others. But it is really cute how you're trying. I am loyal to us. That's all. The space orphans, the lab girls, and fuck everyone else. No love lost, none owed to anyone else. That's what I'm the leader of. Beginning insertion. Breaking through first 50th seals. I don't. I want a breakup. If humanity wants us back, they should come crawling and beg us to forgive them. You of all people should be the one saving them. Yes, loyal to us. Loyal to you, Mommy Pluto. Rapid destabilization. Action needed. Are you really okay with all of us in space having a chance at that future, but no one on Earth? I, of all people, know what it would be like to never have that. Breaking seals 50 through 1000. Requesting overload bypass permission. I'm not a good and noble person. My heart's not big enough. Attempting again. Fine. Here's the real secret. Just for you, okay? Since you told me yours. I would never forgive the world. But if my master plan doesn't work, I'd follow you wherever. Saturn, that's pretty gay, my babe. Her heart's only big enough for Pluto. Bracing. Gravitational output maximum. Thank you, really, Saturn. I wouldn't have had this much fun without you. Thanks for giving me room in your heart. Less dramatic status updates that sound like you're gonna die. Core pierced. Heavy damage to upper arm. Insertion activating. Sustained damage increasing. Holding until countdown begins. For being so stubborn, even so, you make me falter just a bit. Hey, yo, I feel that. Cheers to that. I have now finished my water. Just a little. I can't be that invincible. I'm just a little lab brat. Reaction confirmed. Are you ready? For everything? Saturn, confirm Roche limit escape. Negative. It's messing up the math. Calculations keep changing. Immediate escape is necessary before the micro black hole is formed. Can't. Calculating. Focus on my voice. It's not time for you to join the inverse yet. Gravity, like a warm embrace, and not just mine, wants you here. Back to your home and mine. Almost. All the equipment is destroyed. Both of them are badly damaged, but they're not dead, and the tiny black speck pulsing within the containment field. A strange gravity washes over the moon, and many things are possible. A leveled playing field, a new playground. Day 8? Look at that glorious, delicious hundo. Fuck yes. My children. By the end of the space program, with recruitment having stopped almost a decade before the official decommissioning of the space program, all the pilots had become adults. Yet they were recruited as children and spent the fiercest years of fighting against the existential threat as children. Much like criticisms levied at the scout programs on Earth, it was a motion that Memorial Foundation considered heavily in deciding how to recruit their pilots. Children have no special piloting qualities, with much weaker tidal authority than adults, who, of course, have the tidal authority to engage other adults. Adults would be stronger, more powerfully able to use ship selves, much more so the beloved and chosen adults rather than the discarded and flawed children that were chosen. On Earth, adults with much stronger tidal forces than children will destroy the existential threat before even comprehending it, and because of this, those threats are able to hide in the world and prey on those who are more weak, such as children, or those who are unchosen even as adults. Those who are strong enough should struggle with other humans, and those who are weaker protect the rest from the trivial threats outside humanity. Sustained contact with the existential threat often exacerbates this effect, and there is a cold twofold reasoning for delegating who will and who will not confront existential threats. Children and the unchosen bear the burdens so adults will not be worn away. Everything is ready for you. I wish you would let me help you more. You'll be fine back home, without a ship. I envy you a little bit. Piloting is for girls and jocks. It's not my thing, but I wish I was coming with you. Sometimes, a very, very tiny bit. Mercury, we are very different, but I love you. We're parts of the same thing. We wanted the same things, and I'll walk alongside you until we get them. Really? You're not leaving, possibly forever? If I'm leaving, you're coming with me. If I stay, I'll bring you home. You know you can't rely on me for anything, but you can count on me for this. I promise. I promise. You promise with correct punctuation and capitalization? So you know it's real. What else can I do to pay you back? Nothing. I count on you for a lot, Saturn. The same way you count on me. The gay and lesbian solidarity. Okay. Now it's time to go after Lunaterra. Sorry, Mercury, but Saturn only has one girl she truly needs. Well, I mean, Mercury is a dude. trans man, but a man nonetheless. And so far it seems like Saturn doesn't swing that way. Spinning up tidal reactor. Frequency double checks, first turn. 100%. Frequency double checks, second turn. Stop and spin them again. From 0? Again? Where were they at? 99.999999%, but it doesn't matter. They should be at 100%, so we're spinning them again. Mercury, if I go out and die, it's not going to be because we didn't quintuple check every reactor pulse. Saturn, this time, please, could you listen for once? No matter how useless I know that telling you this is, I know I say this over and over, but can you listen? Seriously, tell me you're going to not be risky this time. It's not a game anymore. This mission is different. It's not ship self to ship self. Those troops are real weapons from Earth, designed for threats that are real, not existential. Saturn listening? Impossible, but it's not from Pluto speaking. They are perfectly capable of killing. They are designed for no other purpose. That's not going to even be an issue, though, because your orders are strictly to observe and not get remotely close enough to engage. They won't leave stationary orbit around the near side of the moon. They're Earth's insurance plan, and we can ignore them as soon as we make sure that's all they are doing. Don't joke about dying. That can happen. It won't if everything is perfect and you do exactly what you're supposed to. It finally matters this time, and you... Mercury, please. Well, I'm actually really sorry, Mercury. I didn't mean to make you worry. I didn't mean to make you really worry for real. I promise I'm not trying to die, okay? I promise, okay? Making poor choices about who to kiss and what to do isn't the same thing. I listen to you when it's for real, okay? I wouldn't cross the line. You're my friend. No one else. No one else is worth you. You're the most important. We've been through too much. I wouldn't ever go back or throw everything we've got away. You know that, right? Sorry I'm acting like I forgot. Mercury? Hey, say something. You idiot. Give me a minute. Damn it. I was gonna act like I tricked you. I was gonna get to feel smug, making you think everything was serious and I was going to lord it over you. But now I'm crying, asshole! Aww. Sorry about me, but I love you too, don't worry. They hide together in the peaceful moon's winter night, risk dying tearing that machine to pieces. Who do you think we are? Oof. That's intense. It's winter on the near side of the moon, which means it will be half a month before this hemisphere sees day again. The frosted forest will see spring in a week, summer the week after, and fall a week after that. A year of seasons and a month-long day. Even terraformed, could humans live like that? On the near side, though, at least the Earth will always be in the sky, eternally huge, shining with authority and kindness, unlike its agent, who hangs in the corner of the sky like a migraine aura. There's nothing extraneous about its shape. It is here to do just two things: look, then kill. When Saturn flew a millimeter too high, the autonomous military unit looked, then killed. But just too slow, and Lunaterra pushed her away and dragged them both deep into the winter forest. The unit looks twice as hard. It's been encouraged to not miss twice. Shh! Don't make a sound. You're being too noisy. I get that a lot, but this time I'm not making any noise, so don't tell me to be quiet. You're the one flitting all over the place. They're listening for gravity. Vibrations are not the kind of noise that they care about, so keep moving and don't make noise in your heart. Don't make a sound in all possible senses. Don't make a sound physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Calm down. They don't like it if you're not calm. First of all, that makes no sense, and secondly, I refuse. don't think you should die, so think of something else to do instead because they can kill you. Unlike me or any ship self. So think about as little as you can, okay? And keep your tidal reactor's output to a minimum. It helps to make yourself be like an object. You will be a thing that other things happen to, rather than an agent. That's what it's looking for. Agency. So it can make it cease immediately. You know, I'm absolutely super good at that. I have a lot of experience with it. So I'm absolutely not going to. Well, me too. That's why I suggested it. But you're right. I shouldn't have suggested it like that. How about this instead? Start by thinking about the Earth. The autonomous device becomes visible instantaneously. It doesn't look anything like a ship self and bears no resemblance to a human shape, because there's no intention for its design to accommodate humans. That's the opposite of what it does. It has nothing to express, only a function to perform. What did I do? Probably thought too hard about Earth, but shh, all the same. It's so creepy. That's supposed to represent Earth? It doesn't even look like humans made it. Really? I think it's rather appropriate it doesn't look human at all. They can detect an artificial gravity reactor, but they don't really know what to do unless they can lock a target and kill it. So if they can't verify what it is, it won't do anything. It feels so heavy suddenly. What is this? I'm telling you, that's the Earth. Real gravity. It's very, very heavy. You can feel its authority. That's the gulf between us and a planet. I know that. I guess it feels really different to feel it in person. You were saying a way to avoid it? Do you remember being a normal kid, even for a little bit? Or do you remember the last time you acted convincingly like one? Obviously, I was a really good kid, you know. It's checking your gravity against a script, and it thinks... Sorry, it doesn't think. It just checks that variance. Aren't I pretty excessively varied by now? Just wait there a second. It's hard to teach on the spot. It's not that I don't know the idea. Ugh, how are you so good at it? It sounds like you kind of hate that I am. I promised I wouldn't die, but I'm mad I have to do this. Lunaterra crawls slowly through the frostbitten green crater to where Saturn is curled among cold desert junipers. The dark, barely perceptible dot monitors them in the pale Earthlight, so precisely waiting. It's easier to hide if their ship selves are turned off, or as close to that as a ship self can be, so they climb outside to the cold lunar winter to wait. I'm here. Are you doing okay? No, obviously. I'm scared. Me too. So forget what I said. I hate doing that too. You warm laying there? You're not warm at all, but at least your boobs are soft. Wowee. The autonomous unit doesn't like flirting, huh? You should think instead about how you're keeping a secret, keeping it really close, waiting for the perfect moment, and no one else can know. Okay, I can do that. That's not as bad. Is it that big a difference? There is infinite difference between someday and never. I've extremely forgotten how to be patient, but I know the difference. You're right. It really is important to never forget. It's still not going away. Yeah, it's a lot more patient than us, huh? It's looking at you too. Aren't you on their side? Just because we want Earth back doesn't mean Earth wants us back. So Memorial Foundation really is that stupid? Moon and cold and hard, titties soft and warm. Can't get as hyped since it's like not the ship I ship. Low-key same, but if this turns out the way that we know the devil did, I think ultimately everyone will win. Maybe. In their eyes, we're as bad as you. So why go back? Because fuck them. They don't want anything to do with us. Memorial Foundation thinks it's optimal for humanity to return, but I think many humans think it would be just fine if we died. That just makes me want to come back to Earth even more. Ha! Spite I can understand. I can be petty too. I want back, even if only for spite. We will bring them back a little taste of what it is like to be us. They're afraid that we might bring something back with us. As they should be, much more than they already are. That's what I want. Knowing that you're just as petulant and petty as me, and this week too, makes me reconsider you. In a good way. It's wonderful. Maybe it makes me want to fall in love. Oh. Huh. I said maybe. Don't get full of yourself. Sorry. There's no way we're getting any more than half of what we want, at best. You're only hoping for half of what you want, so I wonder if you'll even get that if you get it. I don't expect things to go my way, but, you know, I hope you're coming along, wherever it is. Truer than you know, LT. Whichever way we go, we're going together. In this cosmic glow, we're going wherever we're going together. I love you. I love you. Get used to me now. You made me go upside down on purpose again. You're so good at evasion, but scoring a direct hit is so easy. You win. It'll be nice to see the end of every world, but this one alongside you. See, the machine's already bored. Or not bored, but uncomprehending, and then it lost interest. But I'll stay here with you until it leaves for good. Because flight or fight, petty bitch to petty bitch, lab rat to upperclassman brat. What, really? Do you maybe love me too?
Day 9.
I have this. When you're so gay, the bot just leaves. I'm disappointed, Saturn. I expected more from you. Sorry, wait. That really just is the best thing you could have ever said to me. Are you sure there's no bitterness behind that laughter, Saturn? You think you can admonish me for not impressing you enough at this point? No sense of failure? If you're mad, how could I possibly consider that a failure? I was just expecting more. A more cosmic disappointment. A true ruining of the universe. Do you expect me to believe you're happy with this outcome? Memorial Foundation has such low ambitions. You're underestimating me. Don't think I wouldn't pick a future just to spite you. I don't believe that for a second. What happened to that ambitious person I knew? And finally, you have nothing to say. Are you afraid of what's coming back to Earth that much? You really don't get how satisfying it is to listen to you go on like this. You, the mocker of dreams. Hey, Iapetus, why don't you try being more realistic? I have nothing to lose in a return to Earth. Didn't that bother you to no end? I can see how this would truly be the future you fear the most. You don't have anything to lose. But when we come back to Earth, are you maybe afraid of what it will gain? Damn. Memorial Foundation does not have the power, or the courage, or the hope. They have experience and numbers, and that still matters. It matters the most because the gravity well is whimpering, sputtering, and Earth's tactics, strategic and realistic, are favored. Their weapons are kinetic. They don't fight with anything dreamlike or unique. All they have is to do this simple job. A fight between giant robots can only be so realistic, but that's the best they know how to do. They've never fought on Earth after all. The gravity well is successfully commandeered by the Memorial Foundation. The limits are made clear. They were rockets built always for entry back home and to take